Well, Browns fans, I don't know what happened. This guy's in the playoffs and we not. This is the face that he making at us right now. Welcome back, man, to the Browns show. What did we decide to call this, Sleep?
I was just gonna ask you guys. I forgot what it's called.
It's like we stopped doing it like as soon as we named it.
Right. We had initials and everything. We were like the sub something. I forgot what it was.
It was the something.
Mhm.
Well,
Hey
welcome back.
everybody, how y'all doing, man?
Yeah, welcome back to anybody that's watching. I'm Rob Coleman. And Sleep froze. You there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you froze for a second, at least on my end. So I'm Rob Coleman, that's D and Sleep. And we are what was it, Browns for Life?
It was B4L. Yep, I think
Yeah,
that's what it was.
D4L, right?
Yeah.
Right. Browns until they get eliminated.
Browns till they lose a game and we ain't doing no shows
Right.
no more. That's what happened. That's what
Right.
happened.
Right. So as Browns fans, we suffered through the season just like you did, Browns fans out there. And we wanted to do a last show here, at least for the season, to kind of just review things, kind of see where the wheels fell off, kind of see if there's anything could be done to, do something again next year. And just basically cry on each other's shoulders. Because this definitely wasn't how we thought the season was going to turn out, was it?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean,
Yeah.
we was everybody on this line was everybody had wins in the teens.
Right. 11 wins. They're gonna do 12. They can win 12.
We had to win that game against Cincinnati just so that we didn't get to 10 losses. Hey, here's the crazy thing though, Rob. Look, we was talking about, hey, we may actually be going to the Super Bowl. We should definitely win the division, right? Do you know last week every team in the AFC North was available to go to the playoffs with the exception of the Browns.
Then we had like a 1% chance or some shit like that.
Cincinnati was already in, and the Ravens and the Steelers all still had a chance up and through Friday until Sunday when they played each other, and the Steelers still ended up making it in.
Yeah, and they almost did get eliminated. That game almost ended in a tie.
Right, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, and what make it so bad? I think
we was hoping there was.
Both of those teams would have made it.
Crazy,
but instead. So let's see what happened. This is the way it went. Those first 4 games, of course, are the preseason games that got us all excited. And then that KC game, I think we all kind of collectively thought they could win it, but if they don't win it, that's cool as long as they're competitive. And sure enough, they was competitive, right?
Yeah, they only lost by 33-29. So we actually missed 2 field goals in that game.
Yeah, exactly.
And the defense at that time, the defense wasn't great.
Right.
So the defense didn't really get together till like about week 8 or so. But up until then, the defense we wanted to fire the defensive coordinator up until that time.
Right, exactly. That was I mean, you can see the next 3 games here. We basically won, but we were complaining like all through that, right? Because it wasn't like we was winning like we were supposed to be winning. You know,
because it was Houston. Look at the teams. The teams was Houston that really didn't even have a quarterback. Right. Then there was Chicago. We whooped him, but that was a rookie quarterback in his first game playing. Right. And then the other team was Minnesota, which Minnesota was actually a good game. I mean, not a good game, meaning we played that game well and just outplayed them. So I thought that was a solid win. So the other 2 games we should have won because of the fact of who we was playing. So, and they still made me nervous. Houston almost got us.
Exactly. I think what made me nervous through them games is that we wasn't mopping teams, right?
Right.
Like with our roster and our defense and everything, it should have just been a cakewalk for Baker to just go out there and just be throwing touchdowns all over the field. Pro Bowl receivers everywhere, huge athletic tight ends, running backs out the wazoo, Pro Bowl offensive lineman. There's no reason why he wasn't supposed to be able to go out there and just, throw touchdowns like Christmas. So what do you think happened?
Which game was the game where he got injured, where he hurt his shoulder?
Oh, that was early. Because he tried to make that tackle in the Houston game, was it? I think he tried to make a tackle or some shit like that.
Yeah. So the Houston game. After that, everything was downhill. Before then, even though our defense wasn't doing well, I mean, our offense, his at that time, if you look at the week before that, his completion percentage was like number 3 in the NFL at that
look
time.
At the week before that, the first week?
No, because that Houston game was like week 3 or week 4 or something like that, right?
Houston was the second game of the season. Yeah,
I was counting but during the preseason games,
Yeah, we the only team to count the preseason, right?
So, and if he made that dumbass tackle and ruined our season, man.
Yeah, exactly. And of course that Chargers game. The Chargers game is really where I kind of lost a lot of faith, lightweight, because I was like, we putting up points. What do we score? Like 42 points. And then the week before that, we can only score 14. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Chargers game really showed me what we could be, both good and bad. It showed us we could be a really good team scoring points, but we could be a really bad team when it come to in-game, defense and decision making, and Baker in the fourth quarter. I mean, it really kind of showed us the like both Browns in that one game.
Well, Baker was brilliant in that game. Baker was brilliant. That's probably that and the Cincinnati game was probably the 2 most complete games that he played, in my opinion. But my thing was the defense at that time was like water. So that's when they was coming back. We would score on them. Actually, we had a lead. I think we have like a 2 or 3 touchdown lead in that Chargers game.
Yeah, we had a lead.
Came back.
Yeah, we had a lead going into halftime, I believe. I didn't pull up this quarter by quarter, but
and their defense and their offense came back like we went to lunch. And it was the problem was they wasn't changed, which is exactly what Myles Garrett said. He's like, they would come out with this is our plan for the game, and wouldn't make adjustments, where the offense for that team was like, okay, we're not doing good. They made adjustments and we didn't adjust to them. So
all I remember is we was leading with 2 minutes left and got the ball back, and Baker couldn't keep us on the field.
Yep, I remember.
We couldn't run the clock out. We ran some dumbass plays and gave the ball back to them with 2 minutes left, and it's like, you don't do that, not in the NFL. You gotta put the foot on the neck. Hold on a second, we got our boy coming back in. Damn, you get your food?
Yeah, finally.
Polish boy, extra sauce?
Nah, man. Just Polish boy night.
I know I got but I want to get one free.
We was on a date. Oh, I got steak out. On the fins. On the fins. I love me some wing fins, man.
Hey, don't munch and drive.
Right.
That's illegal in Ohio.
Right.
Don't dip and drive.
Yo. But you gotta get credit when it's done.
Somebody gonna get in this car and be like, why is there blue cheese all over the steering wheel?
Right.
Who put ranch dressing on the horn?
You should check my lady.
Right.
Whoa, you making me drop our stick. I'm not making you do that. Here.
Hey, y'all do know we doing the show.
He gonna get pulled over by the cop and bribe him with some wings. Hey, officer, I'll give you these 6 lemon peppers.
What's the topic? You got me candy driver. Let me see, baby. I got it. All right, baby.
The topic is should Josh Cribbs be in the Pro Bowl? What's your thoughts?
Josh Cribbs. Every year. Nope. That man got the most NFL returns. He got a TV show. beautiful wife.
You need to go ahead on. No.
Hold on, put the phone on her. Who is that talking?
That's my girl. Shit, try to be the star. Like, God damn it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
y'all just like his show. I love his wife on that show, man.
Right.
For real, honestly, like she make that show for real.
It would have been canceled without her. What,
Right.
What they call
she got good.
City or
Cribs in the CLE.
Wait. It's something about the crib.
Yeah, Cribs in the CLE.
Is it Johnson Hurst crib or something like that?
I think it's called.
Your phone connection is about as clear as toilet water.
I think it's called
Darren.
Cribs in the CLE.
With the new blue or with shit in it?
Think Scrumpty Dump toilet.
That's all. Dude.
Your phone is about as clear as Miles Drive-In toilet water.
Damn.
Faces froze.
Look, your face froze with a booger in your nose right down the left hand side.
Yeah, it's COVID booger. That booger like, I can't wait to jump on somebody.
My nose ain't dirty. Don't say that.
I can't wait.
He said, don't say that, please. Don't say that. I'm on TV.
A booger is like a grenade nowadays.
He's trying to eat.
Throw a booger in
my
the
nose
crowd.
dirty. I don't want to.
We can't tell. You froze 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Where you broadcasting from? Mars? Where'd you go get your wings? The moon?
Hey, are you all hearing me double? Y'all ain't hearing me double it, y'all.
No, you sound great, at least on my end.
Okay, because I forgot to turn this mic off. I don't need the mic because I got the headphones on.
Well, Dame, just to catch you up, I don't know if you're hearing us in real time. Are you hearing us okay?
Yeah, I hear y'all fine.
Okay. Well, we was basically just kind of going real quick game by game through the season to see where the wheels fell off. We stopped broadcasting the show right around the Lions game because it was like, damn, we could barely beat these motherfuckers. It was like, I think we all just kind of lost steam. And I was doing shows on Friday. I think you guys were doing different stuff.
I think my comments on it was, I think it fell off when Baker got injured, and I was like, yeah, that's like week 3 or 4. And then he brought it to my attention. That was week 2.
Yep. And just to pop the schedule up here real quick. After we lost that Chargers game, now at the beginning of the year, I pretty much knew we were going to lose the Arizona game. Arizona is the truth right now. I know they got some injuries. I'm not sure if they're going to get, that far in the playoffs, but I knew they was going to be the truth this year. So I was kind of expecting that loss. Denver, I was expecting to win. We won that. Pittsburgh, I didn't know how we was going to do. We ended up losing that. And Cincinnati, I think this is really kind of where we show what we could be. But this was like the high point of the season. 41-16. The Browns looked great. They mopped Cincinnati. We came out early, you know what I mean, and fired up. And we was like, bring New England on. Bring their ass. And Belichick put us right back in our place.
Yeah, I think the Cincinnati game is what made me confused.
Really?
Because I was giving him a pass on, he injured. He can't really make the passes. His footwork can't be, and then he came out really well in Cincinnati, probably the best game he played this year. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe he cool. We should be straight going, because that was also the week that we let Beckham go. Beckham was released right before that Cincinnati game.
Right.
And so that's when they came out and they played. I'm like, okay, so maybe we'll be all right. And then, but that injury really affected him in the rest of the game. I mean, Belichick affected him in the next game. But for the rest of the season, the injury was the truth.
Yeah. I mean,
it messed up his mechanics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the reception I need right now. I'm going to jump back
somebody
on about
put in our
10 minutes.
Comments, 28 quarterbacks in 20 years, 10 head coaches. That's the problem. So yeah, no consistency. You know, we ain't got no patience to let a quarterback grow and get better. You know, so I'm not sure if that's the problem that we're having with Baker. You know, are we not giving him the opportunity to get better? I mean, they basically renewed his contract, right?
No, he had a 5th-year option, so they accepted the 5th-year option. So he just got a he got the last year that's on his contract that he gonna be working under.
Oh, okay, all right, but it's probably incentive laden. I would like to see that contract.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit more. I believe he's gonna make something like 17 million for this year. And it's definitely gonna be, it's definitely gonna be based on what are those called? Risers or
certain milestones throughout the season.
Yeah.
So what you think? Just to finish out the season, I think literally people stopped. I wanted us to beat Detroit because it was like, okay, after that humbling defeat to New England, it was like we better go to Detroit and beat Detroit, right? Because Detroit couldn't beat anybody. So when we won against Detroit, it was like, okay, bring Baltimore on. And then we lost to Baltimore in a game where they quarterback threw like 4 interceptions, and we still lost that game.
And it was the backup quarterback.
Right. Right. I mean, he came in like late or something like that, right? He came in like after
second half of the game.
Yeah, second half of the game. We had a backup quarterback who made a what was that play that he had where he dodged like about 6 people?
Right. Like you playing Tecmo Bowl, remember the old Tecmo
he looked
Bowl?
like a damn Madden. He looked like a Madden 2021 play.
Right, it's crazy.
And now I don't want to hate on the Browns defense too much. The Browns defense, I felt like really kept us in some games.
Yeah, the second half of I won't even say second half, probably the last 7 games of the year.
Yeah,
the Browns defense stepped up because they was the one they was huge reasons why we was in those games, man.
Yeah, Miles really kind of stepped up and showed what he was about this year. He's right up there with TJ Watt and all these other people that everybody keep talking about. But I think lightweight, even though there was some games, that Minnesota game, didn't he have like about 5 or 6 sacks or something ridiculous like that in that game?
That was in Chicago. That was a Chicago game.
Chicago game. So it was a couple of games where he, did like some extra, and then some games where he didn't show up at all. Like there was a couple of games where it's like, damn, where's Miles at? But for the most part, he was consistently a threat, and that's really what you want from a defensive player. And I'm happy with that,
Yeah, he had so for Miles to be effective, he got to have help on that line. Because if they double team him, they go double team him. He can go through double teams, but to do a whole game of double teams is, that's not impossible for anybody, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why he wants Clowney back. I think he
So with Clowney on that side, he was doing good, but don't forget Clowney was down for a couple of them weeks, and one of our defensive tackles was down. So
I think Clowney had COVID or something. Yeah.
So like 2 of them games, he was the only starter on the line. So they had Phillips, and he didn't do well and stuff like that. So yeah, that hurt him on a couple of them games. So
yeah, but he still got his money, man. He's in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I want to say we got 2 offensive linemen in the Pro Bowl, and of course Chubb Rock. But I think that's it, right? Nobody else really made the Pro Bowl.
I don't know if I think who should have made the Pro Bowl, but he might not have. I didn't hear his name called. Was Denzel, but he didn't make it this year. But I think but I think to me, if he's not, I think he's in the top 5 of the best corners in the league. So,
top 5.
But his availability is an issue. So
yeah, that's the best ability is availability, right? Yeah, I think he was injured quite a few games.
Star receivers wasn't scoring on us when he was out there on the game. Now, when they got on Chris Rock's son's side, Greedy Williams' side, when Greedy Williams was out there, Greedy Williams was disappointing me in this season.
Yeah,
I like Greedy Williams if he's playing like a dime. But not like as a not on the corner.
right. A couple of times he came in at dime and they looked like really good, but they were like a mishmash of different players this year playing corner. I remember one game, I think we were down to like our third or fourth string cornerback or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we was hurting a little bit, but they stepped up, man. I mean, there was a couple of
I know who
there was
stepped
a
up.
couple of games.
You know that Ricky Delpit, the one that we picked up last year, that got
Yeah.
injured the whole year.
Yeah.
Delpit looked real good. We got some key players in here that's really, really good pieces.
Yeah,
that
we
I
got
think
some
that we
dogs,
can grow
man.
for.
I don't know who's gonna be back though. I mean, this is a big year. I think we probably gonna lose Landry next year.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Landry could do better here, and I want to say I read an article today that his contract is up. So they're gonna have to either renegotiate or he's going somewhere else next year. And a couple other players. I think one of our offensive linemen, a couple other key players. So I don't know what the team is gonna look like next year, man. I mean,
so here's what I know.
Here's what
I know. The running backs is gonna be here. Baker gonna be here. I think they're gonna
Peoples-Jones.
I think I ain't even worried about him. Peoples-Jones got to be here because his contract. He got years on his contract.
Yeah.
And then maybe he got time to get better. So I'm not gonna hate on him yet. But I think Jarvis is gonna be here because they're gonna pay him because of what he means. He means a whole lot more than just he the best receiver on the team.
We're not throwing him the ball though.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Rob. What top receiver is going to come here? Nobody. We're not a receiving team that's going to with players that got escalations. We're not a team for that. Jarvis Landry didn't get a lot of touchdowns. Jarvis Landry used to get a lot of catches. Jarvis Landry was known when he was in Miami and all that kind of stuff for having at least 10 receptions a game. 10 receptions a game every game. He had like a string of like 7 years with like at least 10 receptions every game.
Dude, he was one of my top fantasy dudes that I would pick. He was a good fantasy receiver for like that, low first, middle round. He did great for me a couple of years.
So I think he's still gonna be here, and I think they're gonna be focusing on that. My thing is I'm concerned about the receiving side, and I'm hoping their plan is the only thing they can do is hit good receivers in the draft, because we're not gonna be able to bring no star receiver here because
we're a running team.
Yeah, we're a running team, and
we literally are a running team. So
our offense ain't built to have. You may have 1,000 yards, but it's gonna probably be one receiver that has that. It's not about to be no 2,000-yard receiving type. We're not that type of team.
Nah.
So to have somebody come here like anybody that's a star, right? What's the purpose of coming here? They about to come here and play in the code, and they're not about to get their escalations. So we would have to hit. We got to hit on the draft. We got to be able to hit on the draft. It would be smart for them to keep Jarvis Landry, in my opinion, because Jarvis Landry at least go catch the ball and do the things as far as in the locker room that I think will be successful. And then hopefully they hit on some good maybe two good receivers in the draft.
We'll see, man. Beckham may call him to come play with the Rams. Hey, Beckham, what's your message for Baker Mayfield? Good luck with that surgery. You got any messages for the Browns fans, Odell? Peace, y'all. Peace. This how many games we gonna win in the playoffs, too. I can't hear you, Sleep. Did you mute yourself?
Yes, I did. Key thing is he didn't have any more receptions than he had with us when he was with the Rams. He was only getting like 2 receptions a game. One of those may be a touchdown, but he was happy with that. So,
dude, he scored like 5 or 6 touchdowns in the weeks that we let him go.
Yeah, that's all he ain't scored but like 6 touchdowns since he been there. So it's the same, it's the same thing.
Dude, you diehard Browns, man. I swear. Like all he did was catch touchdowns every game.
No, what I'm saying is that he scored like what?
Game-winning touchdowns.
Well, he scored like 6 touchdowns with them, but as far as total receptions, the receptions was exactly the same.
No, yeah, Kupp was sucking up those receptions. Like, dude, they was throwing the ball to him like 15, 16 times a game.
So he's great as a number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know if he's really number 2, because there were some weeks he was like, 3rd or 4th on the depth chart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not. So with that being the case, yeah, Odell Beckham is not getting double. He's not getting double team on the 1-on-1. He can beat anybody, but as far as when he was here, He getting double teamed, and he couldn't run routes.
He's getting double teamed? You seriously think that?
Yeah, he was getting double teamed. They had a corner on him and a safety on his side every game.
You did see his dad's video, right?
Yeah. He was open because he wasn't running routes. It's easy to be open when you're in the parking lot and you're supposed to be on the field. Somebody you open. I'm open. Ain't nobody out here.
I love when people say that. If you when the video literally shows Baker looking at him open and then going somewhere else. There was times where Baker would look at him open and then scramble and try to run.
He in the wrong place. He in the wrong place, man. He in the wrong place. Got to be in the right place.
He's wide open, but he's 5 yards to the left. So I'm gonna run and scramble with my.
He in the middle of the field. To Muslim, he open, and we got 6'8" defensive tackles on the line. Baker ain't getting that ball to him. He ain't where he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be closer to the sideline. All them passes that they showed he was wide open was in the middle of the field. He ain't supposed to be in the middle of the field. That's all I'm saying. He can't run routes. I don't like.
Don't be mad, Sleep. That was Baker's dad trying to defend him, man. I mean, if you was the dad, you would be like, "Hey, my son is open every play." You know, here's the tape to prove it.
I agree. I'm glad he gone.
You glad he gone?
Yeah, I'm ecstatic.
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, I'm glad he gone. I'm absolutely glad he gone. We get somebody else.
That dude should have had like 1,000 yards receiving here with us.
He wasn't go get him here. He wasn't go get him here because he wasn't running his routes. That boy can't run routes, man.
I bet you that dude went to Kansas City, he have 1,500 yards receiving.
I bet you he wouldn't because Andy Reid wasn't about to go for it. You gotta be in the right place for Kansas City unless you the tight end.
Okay, all right.
Tight end can do what he want to do.
So let's wrap the year up, Dan. This is after the bye week. We came back. We beat Baltimore. Yep. That was a huge kind of.
I'm about to run up to my house, run upstairs, and switch my shit on and join back in.
Oh, that's
right, I'm doing a show. just jump in when you know.
Hey, tell him not to slip on that chicken wing grease.
I'm
Okay, all right.
Don't.
Sorry, that was Dane. He told me I'm about to carry these groceries and stuff in the house and log in. I'm gonna be right there. I'm like, well, I'm doing a show, so just jump in.
Hey, I slipped in front of your house, Dane. Was that black ice? No, it's chicken wing grease.
Right.
I dropped the aluminum foil on my chicken wing packet and messed the street up. Car sliding.
Don't spill wing sauce on the steps. How you? All right. So here's a question I want to. I probably should wait. I'm gonna wait for that question till Dan get on.
Okay. So we got the latter half of the season after the bye week. We came back and we beat Baltimore, which was pretty cool. That was a good feeling to beat them. But then we got mopped the rest of the year.
Not mopped. Las Vegas beat us by 2 points. Green Bay, we got mopped. Well, it was a close game in Green Bay too.
It really was. We probably should have won that game.
We should have won that game.
We actually should have won that game.
We should have won.
Which really surprised me.
We should have won all the rest of these games.
Yeah,
all of them. We should have won.
The Pittsburgh game. We should have won. You're right. We should have won a lot of these. I think after one of these games, I think after the Green Bay game, Baker was like, "Oh, I played like garbage." Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, because the defense scored. I mean, defense got an interception in that Green Bay game?
Yeah,
they got interceptions in all them games, man. They put us in some really good field position.
Exactly. The defense. These scores are all close because of the defense.
I think a healthy Baker could have made all of them a win.
I mean, look at this. We won by 2, lost by 2, lost by 2, lost by what 12.
And remember that was that last run that he ran into that was the last like 8 seconds left in the game where he ran the ball and then took it into the end zone.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
So
right. So in looking at this, man, this was winnable. I mean, we had some games that was winnable, and if we win just one of those games, we probably in the playoffs instead of Pittsburgh.
We would have been in the playoffs instead of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
because we would have been tied with Cincinnati, and we'd have had the edge for the record because we had a better record because we beat them twice.
Exactly. I'll be honest with you, man. When I was preparing for the show,
actually, we would have been the AFC North champs. Because we would have not. Yeah, just by two games. Any 2 games that season would have got us the AFC North and the playoffs.
Yeah, and considering
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, and considering, how Baker played and how we were complaining about a lot of stuff, we still were a dog in a fight,
Yeah, and I think that I'm glad that they did not make the playoffs. Only because of not for the whole season. I'm glad they didn't make the playoffs the way they were playing at the end of the season, because I'd rather they not make the playoffs than us to go to the playoffs the way they're playing and get embarrassed. I didn't want us to go to the playoffs because we was gonna get embarrassed. Baker still wasn't gonna be healthy, and he was that last game against the last game against Cincinnati? No,
Yeah.
that wasn't Cincinnati. The game before that, Pittsburgh.
Okay.
The Pittsburgh game. They was TJ Watt when he got sacked 9 times in that game.
I don't know why they
Pittsburgh,
didn't pull Baker.
They
at
should
some
have.
point.
They should have. Man.
Yeah.
So imagine we make the playoffs, and we going with the Baker had to be worse off than he was when at the beginning of the season. So we went to the playoffs and been embarrassed. So
Baker was getting his ass whooped. I felt like I was looking at Rocky 1.
I was like,
how much how bad he was getting his ass whooped. I was like, damn, Duck.
I fucked around. I thought he called his mama by her first name or something. Thought he was like Sharon. Motherfucking Sharon. Hey, remember that joke I used to say? Like, you can't say what in a black person's house.
Yeah.
You can't even say what time is it. You had to be like, Ma, time is it?
Time is it?
That's just for real.
So Baker's gonna be back. I don't know what
let's pause there.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Dude, I feel like we need to have a quarterback competition. A lot of people, there's rumblings that we got our eye on Deshaun Watson or something like that.
I think these are pipe dreams because I don't see Deshaun Watson can choose where he want to go. I don't see Deshaun Watson coming here.
Nah, I don't know, man.
I don't see Aaron Rodgers coming here. I don't see Deshaun Watson coming here. I don't see what's his name from Seattle coming here. And so everybody else has just as much talent. Baker has just as much talent as them. Yeah, that's in the league. So
this was a really competitive year this year too, man. It just goes to show you, man, that football is probably the most competitive of the pro sports really right now, because any team, could go, with that right combination. I mean, like we was just saying, a couple of points here and there, man, and we in the playoffs.
Did you see what our schedule is for next year?
No, the schedule ain't out yet, is it?
Let me tell you the teams that we play. Not the dates, but the teams that we play.
Okay.
The away games and the home games.
All right, let's do it.
So here's going to be the home games. Los Angeles Chargers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. New Orleans Saints. New England Patriots. New York Jets.
Okay, all right, we got the Jets.
That's it, right. And then our normals: Ravens, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Our away games: Houston Texans.
Okay.
Washington Football Team.
Okay, all right, that's competitive.
Atlanta Falcons.
That's competitive. We could beat the Dirty Birds.
Carolina Panthers.
We could beat Carolina.
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo's competitive.
Miami Dolphins.
Miami is good. Miami ain't no joke.
Ravens, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. So here's what I'm seeing. I see we got 5 teams we're playing next year that's currently in the playoffs now, and we played 2 of those teams twice.
Okay.
We got
2 teams in our divisions.
Okay. Tampa Bay. No, teams in our divisions are the ones we played twice. So that's Tampa Bay, New England, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Buffalo. We got 2 teams that just missed the playoffs that we playing next year.
Right.
With the Chargers and the Dolphins. The Dolphins ain't no punks.
No, that's what I'm saying. The Dolphins good, man.
So it's gonna be this schedule next year. I think it's gonna be tougher than the schedule we had this year from it.
Dude, you right. I mean, because when I looked at the schedule this year, I mean, you were talking about 12 wins or whatever. And when we looked at the schedule, we was like, you know what, they could do that. I mean, the toughest teams on the schedule was like Kansas City, Green Bay. Our division we were supposed to be Arizona. so there was teams that were definite that we saw as definite wins. Detroit. I mean, seriously, you know what I'm saying? So
I mean, we got 8 wins, and we were just sitting up there looking like, yeah, we could have won these 4 games. So those 4 games that we was looking at, even at the end of the season, would have got us 12 wins.
Hold on. I think he put his phone in some rice and got some of that chicken grease out. Oh no, hold on. He tried to come in. He left right back out. You got to put it in dry rice, man. He tried to put his phone in some Chipotle rice, and yeah, all it did was make your phone smell like cilantro.
Right.
Yeah, he about to pop back in though.
He dropped it in dirty rice.
Right. You got a piece of sausage in your voice. So yeah, I like that. I like that you looked that up, man, because it's interesting to see the teams that we got to play. Now, Tampa might be rebuilding because who knows if the GOAT gonna come back. So
yeah, he may not.
We'll see. If he win a Super Bowl again this year, I can't see him trying to come back again. Hold on, here go our boy.
There you go.
What up?
Love that chicken from Popeyes. You still on mute?
I thought I had you.
There we go.
All right, there you go.
You hear me?
Yes,
yeah, we can hear you now.
This is a little darker than I thought it was going to be. Let me see what I can do.
Hey, you got to get out that restaurant's bathroom trying to try to do a podcast.
I'm also doing a review on the wings.
Right. He like, hey, let me know when my order ready.
I got the wings last night, man. The wings was good, but they was little as hell.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Now I'm here. I can talk. This ain't bright as hell.
Alexa, turn on.
That's as bright as it's gonna get right now.
I know. Remember, this is our Browns chat, not your OnlyFans page.
Yo, I know.
He said your OnlyFans. It's not your OnlyFans page.
I know because I still got my socks on. You know what I'm saying?
As they about to start taking his clothes off, like hit the music, Alexa, hit the music for me.
Give him a little bit of undershirt. You know what I'm saying?
Like, wait a minute, is that Dame or Chuck? I don't know who that is. Is that Chuck or Dame?
I come in there looking husky. By the time they finish, I still be husky. I just got here.
Right. Like I'm still sloppy love.
All day.
Only $4.99 a month.
When we dropped off, we was talking about when I dropped off, rather, we was talking about from Detroit, how it kind of changed.
Yeah.
You know, to me, this whole season just been it's a reminder. It's a sobering moment as a Browns fan and as an organization. You have to build. It don't come overnight. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like, we had a good season last year, okay, but have consistent good seasons, at least playoff berths. That's why Cincinnati bounced back so quick. That's why it's so hard to knock Pittsburgh out. That's why Baltimore is always in the mix. They've been making the playoffs for the last 15, 20 years. They built, as cheap as Cincinnati is, think about this. Cincinnati don't spend no money, right?
Right.
But they've been to the playoffs consistently ever since we left the league.
Right. Mixon is like in his 8th or 9th year or something crazy like that.
I think he's like 5 or 6, but he been around for a minute.
Yeah.
But
he been around there since he slapped that lady in the restaurant.
That was on 50.
What? That was him?
Yeah, that was it. He was, remember, the running back. They said, and they had questions about him. That's why he dropped and ended up getting to Cincinnati, and Cincinnati ended up picking him up. He dropped that low. He ain't had no problem since, though.
The thing is, nice. This was a somber reminder to all Browns fans and to the Browns organization even. You can't build a championship overnight. In football. In basketball, you can do that. It's 12 people. And all you need is 2 of the top 10 or 4 of the top 20, and you got a competitive team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like the touching on what you're saying, just to piggyback on that, the Browns, the best thing that was about the Browns is every time they talked about them was, hey, they got a young team and blah, 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 blah. Right. The problem is it's kind of too young because we don't have any veterans that done been there. and done that. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like
Exactly.
so, no, it's somebody said the other day, it's like they don't know what they don't know. You know what I mean? So, what they call it, like a baby rattlesnake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like a baby rattlesnake compared to a regular cobra, baby rattlesnake, if they bite somebody, they're giving them all the poison they got because that's all they know, right? Where a big rattlesnake, when they bite you, they're gonna give you a little bit just to knock you down a little bit. You know what I mean? Because they may still need that poison to protect themselves, but that baby snake don't know.
Oh yeah.
So for us, we go out there with everything we got, but when it's time for all the marbles and it's time to get to the playoffs, we ain't been there before. We just got there for the first time last year. So the fact of closing out games has been our Achilles heel all year to me. We haven't been able to have a lead, be it with a close lead, and be able to win except for one game this year where we
did.
So,
and you know, a lot of that, you got to think. I mean, we don't have a veteran front office or veteran coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Like they're learning on the job. They all damn near rookies, just like Baker.
That's true. All of them in their positions for the first time, with the exception of Van Pelt.
And not only rookies to the Browns organization, but rookies to the culture.
Exactly.
Because I'll tell you this, the Browns, when they go and play their rival games, they don't seem like they up for the challenge. Those Pittsburgh games, they didn't look like
they flat.
You're supposed to play different, right? Pittsburgh plays us different every time they play us, right? And we just playing a football game. So the culture isn't used to, the rivalries and what it means to be a Browns fan. And
you got dudes on the Pittsburgh like Ben Roethlisberger that's like, hey, look, we playing the Browns. I know y'all don't think they nothing, but I hate them motherfuckers.
You're right.
We not
they didn't draft me,
them.
So we got to beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a goal.
We ain't got nobody on our team that feel that way. For some reason, Baker feels more strong about Cincinnati than he do about, because he's from college where in-state teams make a difference, right?
Yeah.
So he feel like Cincinnati is the biggest rivalry. That's not our biggest rivalry. Our biggest rivalry is Pittsburgh.
But you know what? I have to disagree on that. I think Baker, and I think that's where some of the Baker and Stefanski have differences. Like we kind of called out to offensive play calling a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Like Baker, he knows what Pittsburgh is, but also Baker knows what he is to an extent right now. This is 4 years, right? So he can't ruffle too many feathers. However, in a game like Pittsburgh, why don't you be as aggressive as them in play calling as you is when we play Cincinnati or when we play Baltimore? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like why does the play calling get pulled back? Now some of that this year, and this is my thing about the front office with Baker as a quarterback. Baker, after he tore his labrum, after week 5, and we saying that it was affecting him, he should have been shut down. Case Keenum, if I'm not mistaken, is the highest paid backup quarterback.
Oh yeah, he's going to make like $17 million or some shit like that.
So you put an investment like that in a backup quarterback because if something happens to your rookie or your quarterback, he should go in immediately.
Yeah,
and be able to at least. Baker would have been back by week 9 or right now, and we probably would have had a winning record.
We would have.
However, because they would have been even more reliant on the run, which is our strong point. Now, Kareem Hunt getting hurt was a factor, but Dearness Johnson seems to be a good replacement. He ain't
that
Kareem.
Kid, I hope he gets paid next year. That kid can play some damn football.
Not next year because we would have had him 1 year. No, he got to. Running backs. You want to?
Yeah, they got 2 years. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, 2.
Well, we had Dearness Johnson already. They signed him off. Remember, they was talking about off the boat. They gave him a 1-year deal.
Exactly, but he don't have those miles as a running back would have as he was a starter. So yeah, we can pay him a little money to stay, but he hasn't proven he's anything other than a kind of a backup specialty back. So we definitely want to lock him down. He's not Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is a game changer. Nick Chubb is a game changer. Together, they can dominate. You know what I'm saying? However, with Baker, with the fan base, Baker called out Mary Kay
Can't do
for
that.
clickbait.
Man.
Yeah.
And what he did you see how many Browns quarterbacks, ex-Browns quarterbacks, chipped in and said, "Yeah, the media is one of the worst problems of playing in Cleveland," because they changed the perception to the world, or at least to the area, to the local area, of what the team actually is. The truth is, if we're looking at football right now, it's 32 teams. How many elite quarterbacks are there?
Elite quarterbacks?
Elite.
8,
maybe?
about 8.
I would say 3.
Okay.
3.
What's your definition of elite? That
Elite.
makes a difference.
First off, elite
4,200 yards, 10 plus touchdowns.
No. Elite quarterbacks. I mean, they're gonna average. If they do 200 yards, you did good to hold them to that. For one.
Mm-hmm.
For two, elite quarterbacks pull out the win, regardless of what go on.
Yeah, they get the ball in the last 2 minutes.
And then I can still, as long as my defense kept us in range, I can get those points. I can get us in range for that.
Right.
Also, elite quarterbacks have a sense of leadership that when they go to a team, they follow them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You only got about 3 quarterbacks like that in the league. Now, we got a lot of promising young quarterbacks. I wouldn't even consider Joe Burrow elite.
Okay.
You said Joe Burrow's elite?
He's not elite. He's had a good year this year.
That's it.
But it takes some time to be elite.
Yeah, they're going to figure him out next year.
Yeah. And he lose to us. Every trip. I don't think he got a win against us yet. You know what I'm saying?
It's coming.
Is it? Is it though? It might not never come. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you look at us, if you look at the Browns this year, we was 3-3 in the division. 2 against the Bengals. We split with Baltimore. Pittsburgh beat us twice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
they shouldn't have did that.
And they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have.
Right.
But I think the Browns, the fan base, first of all, we just so hungry and we so rabid that it's like anything we do good is supposed to be great, and anything we do bad is the worst shit that could ever happen.
Mm-hmm.
No, man, it's hard to win in the NFL.
It's true.
It's hard to
even
win.
Against a whack team.
Exactly. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to win week in, week out. Now, back to what I was saying earlier about Baker.
I say 6 quarterbacks. Go ahead.
Okay. But back to what I said about Baker. Baker is in his 20s, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Kevin Stefanski is in his 40s.
Stephen Stefanski?
Yeah, him.
Both of them.
Yeah, him and his twin. All right. So look, because sometimes we get Kevin Stefanski, sometimes we get Stephen Stefanski. And you know what I'm saying? It just depends on who coaching that day.
Hey, that's good right there.
But Andrew Berry, I believe, is in his late 30s or early 40s. Right? They all went to Harvard. Right? So I have to believe, as a fan and as somebody who watched the sport, the only reason Baker was on that field after we seen that his injury was affecting him and he had to wear a harness was because either A, they just want to see what he can do, or B, he controlling the room. Now, let me ask you, in life, what 20-year-old control the room of 30 and 40-year-olds?
Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
But, so why was he on the field?
There's a third
He's
option.
a number 1 draft pick.
There's a third option,
number
too.
1 overall draft pick, huh?
There's a third option, too.
Okay, what's that?
Third option is Andrew Berry and them didn't pick him. But he's right now he's the Cleveland savior as far as a quarterback. So if this is your guy, or if this is not your guy, it ain't Kevin Stefanski's choice. It's Stephen Stefanski's choice either.
Right. Because Kevin Stefanski, you know,
it could be. Hey, you all right? The doctor say you all right? You all right? All right, yeah, we're gonna start you to hang yourself.
Yeah.
The easiest way to get, if you don't want Baker, let's say for instance he don't want Baker Mayfield, he got his own idea of quarterback,
right?
If that's the case, the easiest way to get rid of him without having any kind of controversy is to let him hang himself based on what he said. The doctor said he was okay. He said he can play. He looked good in practice. We're gonna let him play. Now, if he go out there and doesn't do well, then that's on him. The fans now turning against him. It's a lot easier to get him out of here.
Right.
So that's the third option. I'm not saying that's the case.
No. That's a very valid point that you said, and that is a very valid option, which is what I said should have happened with Johnny Manziel we go back a little bit, but Johnny Manziel, because Baker always getting compared to Johnny Manziel.
It's a 10-year challenge.
I already said, yeah. I mean, my opinion and belief was already when we drafted Johnny Manziel, Pitton, who was our coach then, instead of him fighting and trying to keep Johnny Manziel off the field, and no, you put him on the field.
That's what they said that text down, remember?
But you put him on the field. Within 4 to 5 weeks, nobody would have wanted to see him on the field. Only problem is for Pitton, Mike Pitton, when we had him.
Mm-hmm.
When the first time he put Johnny Manziel on the field, he wanted him to lose, but he won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he won because the truth is Johnny Manziel is a football player, but his extracurricular and his wealth derailed his career. But as a football player, yeah, he was good.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't really take practice and none of that serious. But the best way, what you just said, is to get that kind of quarterback out the league. Yeah, I'm going to put you on the field. And when people see that you ain't really paying attention and you don't know what to do, they turn on you. That's not Baker, though.
Mm-mm.
Players want to play for Baker.
Mm-hmm.
The first job of a quarterback, at least in my opinion, is leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens simply because he had enough leadership skills and enough self-awareness
to
play within Baltimore. I can control what I can control, and
it doesn't hurt to have one of the greatest defensive lineups ever.
It don't. But for some reason, for Baker Mayfield to have an excellent running game is a hit on who he is as a quarterback because he can hand the ball off 30 times a game and pass 20 times a game. Tom Brady started his career like that. Ben Roethlisberger started his career like that.
No.
Russell Wilson started his career like that. Go ahead, man.
All right, now let me ask you this. Is Baker the quarterback of the future? I mean, are y'all saying Baker next 7-8 years is our quarterback?
That's the $1 million question as far as I was going to ask you that. And I said I said I had a question. I wanted to wait till Dan get on the line.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask, one, how do y'all feel about Baker? What do y'all feel about him? Do you think the Browns should be looking for a new starting quarterback? Do you think what do you think about the quarterback situation and what the Browns should do? What do y'all think about that?
Baker, and I watched a lot of Shannon Sharp and
Bayless.
Bayless. They be going back and forth about it. And I'm
like,
gonna say it like Shannon Sharp. Let me ask you a question. Is Baker average or is he elite? He average, Skip. He an average quarterback, Skip. And I don't know if you pay an average quarterback. I mean, he's an average quarterback. And there's a lot of average quarterbacks out there right now that are just as good, if not better, than Baker. He's not anything that's elite to me. He doesn't make touch passes. I don't see him throw back shoulder passes great. He throws one kind of pass. He throws that bullet pass over the middle. I don't see he can't lob up and drop that ball down on a receiver running a 30 or 40 yard, post or sprint. I mean, he doesn't have any touch. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him read defenses. I don't see him call audibles. He calls plays right into. You can see defenses adjust to say, oh, they're about to do that punk ass play action fake where Baker pretends like he's gonna run, but they hand it off. I mean, you can see defenses getting ready for that, and he doesn't know how to audible out of it. So that's the kind of shit that when I see it, I'm like, I don't think he's the quarterback of the future.
I gotta disagree on that one.
What?
I mean, okay. And this is why I say that. First off, to be an average quarterback in the NFL means you're pretty good. First off,
I agree with that.
If your low ceiling is being an average quarterback, that's a pretty good start.
You can win championships.
All right. Secondly, I think Baker Mayfield reads the field and makes the correct play all the time. He just don't connect.
Oh my God!
No. Oh no! Look, he throws to a lot of open receivers.
What was on those chicken wings?
He don't. No. Go back and look at the games. Baker Mayfield makes a lot of good reads and throws to a lot of open receivers. Where I will agree with you is he does not have touch. Every pass that Baker Mayfield throws is a hard bullet.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is because this is just what it is. Because he's short. When that window opened, he got to rifle it in. Now, what I don't think, or what I think people overlook, first of all, our receiving core was highly overrated. As you can see right now, Odell Beckham on our team is a number one receiver. If he's not a number one receiver, we wasting his time. Yet he go to somewhere else. He is the number 2 or 3 option. He averaging 30 to 40 yards a game and get a touchdown. And all of a sudden now his career is rejuvenated.
Right.
Like,
Because he's exactly what he should be at this point in his career.
Exactly.
He's a number 2 or number 3 receiver.
Yeah, he's
not
a
a number 1
receiver.
receiver.
We've never had a number 1 receiver.
Except for Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards was.
No, Braylon wasn't. I mean, Braylon Edwards was put as a number 1 receiver. He was not a number 1 receiver.
Y'all just gonna forget about Josh Gordon?
He got a Pro Bowl.
Y'all just
Josh Gordon at his prime was a number 1 receiver. Like for real, for real. But that's what I'm saying. Like right now, our receiving core is highly overrated because for
what
real.
About Dennis Northcutt?
What we talk? No.
I'm just playing.
Kevin Johnson. Tim Couch made him a star. You know what I mean? But look, like on some real shit in our receiving core. And this is why I say Baker get a lot of unnecessary heat. People talk about his inability, I guess, as a quarterback to pull off plays.
Right.
Have you ever counted how many drop passes we had?
Oh, come on, man. Everybody had drop passes.
No. If you're going to be a receiver in the league, you don't drop passes. You can lose games, you can do what, but you don't drop passes. Look,
yeah.
And this is back to the point about Baker not having really any touch. Shannon Sharp's older brother, Sterling Sharp, said the reason he knew that Brett Favre was throwing to him because you could hear the ball in the air. How hard is he throwing that?
Right.
How hard is he throwing that ball?
Yeah.
If you can hear it, you can hear it whistling through the air. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So even though Baker ain't got no touch, that ball has hit them receivers in the hands and in the chest area numerous times and they drop it. That's on them.
Let me ask you something. I think this is going to answer our question, right? This is going to end our debate. Let me ask you something. Browns are down 2 points, right? There's a minute 30 left in the fourth quarter. The Browns are about to get the ball back on the 5-yard line. Baker's at quarterback. You think they win in that game?
Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to answer your question.
Answer with your gut.
Can Baker win that game? If we got better receivers, yes. I think he can. Because this is the thing. Because we're looking at some people is looking at Baker from this year. I'm looking at him from college to when he came here.
Yeah.
Baker reset the rookie record in his first year on a bad team.
Okay. No, don't.
Then he had a bad year after that because, whatever. Then the next year, Baker, after Odell went out and he wasn't trying to search Odell out every play.
Right.
Was ranked like the number 3rd quarterback in the league end of the year.
I give you all of that. My thing is
even starting this year. Hold on.
Yeah.
Even starting this year against Kansas City, the first game of the season, he always battles Patrick Mahomes or any of the best quarterbacks to the best of his ability. He passed for 325 yards.
Yeah, okay.
He got knocked because he didn't have a lot of touchdowns, but that's because we have a running game. If your quarterback can get you into the 10 or 15 or 20-yard line, and you got a solid running game,
the best running game,
how many times are you going to pass then? So,
go ahead. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, if Baker don't hit somebody, which we don't have the receivers to do, except for maybe Odell, but he was dropping a lot of passes. If you don't hit somebody for a 50, 60-yard play or 40-yard play into the end zone, once we get in a 30 and 20, we're going to do a lot of screens and running. Because that's what we built for. We're Cleveland. Right. We have to adjust our play, and that's why the AFC North in general They run a lot later in the year because it's wintertime.
So to your point, you said it depends on who Baker got to throw the ball to, right?
Absolutely.
If Brady gets the ball with 1:30 left, can he win that game? Absolutely.
It depends on who he got to throw the ball.
He can win the game.
Yeah,
he's improved it in the past.
See, that's the thing.
But look at who he's throwing the ball
number
to.
one overall.
He ain't had nobody in New England.
Bull. Yeah. Wes Welker. Brady lives off slot receivers and the kicker.
Wes Welker went to
Wes Welker. Julian Edelman.
They both went to different teams and was nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Because Brady picks up on slot receivers. That's his bread and butter. If you look at Tampa Bay last year,
like an open book. Brady Reed's defense is like an open book. He calls defenses out, and linebackers are like, "Damn, he know exactly what he's doing." I mean,
he do. But that was
now Brady is an exception, right?
Brady's first three Super Bowls.
Yeah,
he was not the catalyst.
It's not fair for you to ask a question about a minute something to go and then use Tom Brady.
Yeah,
as an example.
I just want to show you the high and the low, right?
Yeah, but Brady is an elite quarterback. You only got 3 of them in the league.
Ever. He's the best ever.
Mahomes. You get a ball of Mahomes with 1:30 left.
But he has lost with 1:30 left with the ball in his hand.
He almost lost against the Browns with 1:30 left.
But can he win that? What I'm saying is Baker doesn't scare me. As a matter of fact, when the Browns go into the fourth quarter with a lead, I'm worried. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that you're not worried if the Browns go into the.
You know why you're worried?
With less than a touchdown lead.
Let me say something.
You're not like, oh shit, how they gonna fuck this up?
Let me say something.
Because the defense is not what we put. We're not what we put it up to be.
The defense is solid, homie.
No, wait. Give me a
3 and outs, man. Them 3 and outs, them offensive 3 and outs is.
Well, you keep doing it. I watched Baltimore hold teams to 17 to 10 points a game for an entire season. If you have an elite defense, I watched Tampa Bay do that. When Tampa Bay won their first championship, it wasn't because of the offense.
Right. But that's what we were just looking at. These last games of the season, all of those L's there, who kept us in that game? The offense or the defense?
Yeah, but Rob, let me just say this real quick. This season, I wouldn't compare this season in the argument.
No, yeah, this season is
if we was to compare,
it's hard to compare the season with anything because of injuries and COVID and a lot of other bullshit.
But if I was to answer your same question based on the stats and results from last year's games, then yeah, that Baker came back in a couple of them games, like 2 or 3 of them games in the fourth quarter with like a 2-minute offense. And we did win the game. Remember, one of them was when Chubb went down on the 1-yard line when he could have got a touchdown and the time ran out.
Right.
So he has done it.
Smart football play.
So he has done those things. This year is an anomaly because after week 2, the dude was not 100%. So I don't know if any elite quarterback that had the same injury, even though it's not in the throwing arm, would be as successful as they were.
I'm gonna say this, and this is mic drop here. Mm-hmm. Baker is shook.
I agree.
Nah,
y'all seen 8 Mile, right?
He's not shook.
He's shook. When he back there, he can't make a decision. He pumping, and
because the receivers are not getting open.
He's not throwing them open. In the NFL, you got to.
He has. Look, Baker Mayfield's career is built on throwing receivers open. Even when Odell, like remember me earlier in the season when we was doing the show. Remember?
Man.
Look. Earlier in the season we was doing the show. Me and Sleep had kind of went back and forth about Odell.
Uh-huh.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then after me and Sleep kind of went back and forth, I agree with Sleep. Like Odell is not the answer because I watched him drop too many crucial passes right to him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then Odell went to the Rams. And now he went to Rams. He averaging the same numbers he was averaging with us, except he's getting a touchdown.
I just said that. Yep.
But everybody acting like Odell is the greatest thing to come to the Rams. First off,
he dropped some passes in the Rams too.
But let's look. Odell didn't go to the Detroit Lions and take them into the playoffs. Odell went to the fucking Rams, who were already looked at as Super Bowl contenders and already had like a winning record when he got there. That's why he chose them. And he wanted to live in LA.
And the best wide receiver ever Best wide receiver.
Well, I ain't
with
gonna say.
stats.
Whoa. Hold your mouth. Hold your mouth, young man.
I'm
The
talking
best
about
wide receiver ever.
in the year with the year stats and the 1 year
Hey, look,
stats.
man.
Yes, he had a triple crown.
The best wide receiver ever. And we ain't gonna jump off topic.
I'm not saying
because I still got to
time.
come back and answer Rob's question about is Baker Mayfield our quarterback for the future.
Yeah.
But the best wide receiver ever, make no mistakes about it.
Jerry Rice.
No, Chris Carter.
Who?
All right.
Okay.
Jerry Rice used Stickum.
The crackhead.
Yep.
Jerry Rice ain't
Him.
used no damn stick.
He did too. He admitted it.
Come on.
Go look it up. He admitted it. And Chris Carter was like, I never used Stickum. I never did it. You know what I'm saying? The best receiver ever in NFL. Because a lot of receivers got stats off of you. Stickum was legal. So, yeah, everybody going to use a little bit, just like right now. A lot of reason you're seeing a lot of these receivers making one-handed catches is because the gloves is designed that they wear, the receiver gloves.
Yeah.
They designed them now to be like Stickum.
Yeah, they really did. When I bought some of them gloves for my son and had to peel them apart when he bought them, I was like, damn.
Yeah, because they got like the little suction cups on the fingertips and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, designed into it.
That's not illegal.
So,
yeah.
Hey, man, how many years did Chris Carter play without a number 2 wide receiver?
Shit. What? I mean, he ain't get a number 2 wide receiver until Moss came. But let us not jump off the subject.
No. But Jerry Rice didn't have any other competition stuff.
Jerry Rice had
a tight end.
No, he had Brett, and he also had he's very unforgotten, but he made a lot of catches for Jerry to help keep them drives open.
I see.
Jerry was the one that was going to punish you because Jerry was always fast. And to give Jerry Rice's credit, he does have huge hands. So he probably could have caught those balls without sticking it. You know what I'm saying? But he used it.
I ain't never heard that, but we'll topic for another day. We'll come back to that. We'll
that's an
circle
off-season topic. But back to your question.
Cooper Kupp will be the best wide receiver.
Is he our future franchise quarterback?
Yeah.
I say yes, at least in the next 2 to 3 years, simply because you have to build stability first. And you have to build up your team.
Wait a minute, did you just hear what you just said?
What'd I say?
You said he's our franchise quarterback for the next 2 or 3 years.
That's an accurate statement though.
But that give him 7 years.
Yeah, franchise quarterback is who you franchise as your quarterback.
He's retiring here. He's retiring.
No.
Okay, that's what
Brady ain't retiring in New England, but he was a franchise quarterback.
He's probably
franchise quarterback don't mean that you're retiring. A franchise quarterback means you are able to stabilize the franchise. And one thing that Baker did do. What she said?
Something about
she said you're the franchise chicken eater. Is that what she said?
No, she said LeBron franchised everything. Like he stabilized everything.
I thought she said you're the franchise chicken eater.
With Baker, that's what I'm gonna tell you right now. With Baker, you need a quarterback who other players want to play for, regardless of how good he is. Regardless of how, because it's a lot of flashy quarterbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? But do they win championships? Every flashy quarterback that you think look good, when they get to the playoffs and play against elite competition, they get showed their ass.
We
running quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pocket quarterbacks are the only proven way, or a scrambling quarterback is the only proven way to win a championship. You don't see a lot of the last running quarterback we seen win a championship was John Elway, and he had Terrell Davis when he did it.
Hey, if Matt Ryan became available, would you take him?
Yeah, I'd take Matty Ice in a minute. Are you serious right now?
I wouldn't take Matty Ice. Although when I did tell you it was 3 elite quarterbacks in the league.
Did you say you wouldn't?
No, but I told you because he's not gonna do nothing for us. Temporary shit. We need foundation. We have to build up other positions. Matty Ice coming to us is just like Phillip Rivers. That's 1 year at best of high production, maybe 2. We need somebody that we can bark on for the next 2 to 3 years so that we can build up the rest of the team. The reason, as we go back, the reason I think Baker Mayfield is a franchise quarterback is he can do at least 7. And we don't know what he's going to actually turn into because he can learn how to get touch. I've seen quarterbacks do it.
I agree with what he said on that part because you could, if it's one thing that you can't teach accuracy, but you can teach touch. So,
and the thing is, Baker is one of the most accurate quarterbacks to come into the league. This year is an outlier.
Oh my God.
This year is an outlier. His first year, he set the touchdown rookie record and one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They wanted to put him as rookie of the year, right? His second year wasn't so great, even though statistically he didn't do bad.
Yeah, but his accuracy was good. He just didn't have a lot of touchdowns.
He's always been accurate. That's the thing about Baker. He's always been accurate. Our receiving core is very overrated. Our play calling does not necessarily. The reason Odell Beckham, I think, wanted to leave here is because our play calling, with us having such a strong running game, we don't have to throw the ball a lot or make the receivers the star. Mm-hmm. In LA, they don't really have a running game. They haven't had one since Gurley, but they throw the ball. If you look at their history, other than Marshall Faulk, and when they had Jerome Bettis, they're a passing team because they're in California. They don't have to worry about snow and cold weather and all of that.
No, that's
But when you look at our division always got a solid run game. Solid, you know what I'm saying?
I think other teams hate playing the AFC North because they go. It's gonna be a football game, even if it's somebody a team that sucked. Yeah. You leaving that game in pain.
Well, right now we have, and it's another thing. We have the strongest or toughest division in football. Period.
That's arguable.
Well, who would you argue with? Who would you argue with?
I mean, that
Arizona's
Dallas division with the Cardinals and everybody right now is pretty tough.
The NFC West.
Yeah, the NFC West is pretty tough.
The Seahawks are not tough. Okay, they got Russell Wilson because they've changed their philosophy. Back when they had the Legion of Doom, that was tough. The Cardinals, you're not even picking them to win their game this week in the playoffs. I mean, they're there, but that's just their division is kind of weak. They got 2 easy wins coming the year. The Rams, the Rams are strong, even though Matt Stafford probably gonna fall apart in the playoffs. And San Fran really only got into the playoffs this year because the NFC kind of sucked.
You know what? Speaking of Matt Stafford, when he was with the Lions, how many years was he with the Lions? Like 10 at least?
At least 10. At least 10.
So you would consider him a franchise quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
But look what the franchise did. That's what I'm saying. That term is overrated.
That's what I'm saying. You saying he's going to be a franchise quarterback, but he's going to be a mediocre franchise quarterback. We're going to be the Detroit Lions for the next 2 or 3 years.
Who, Baker?
I don't think we're going to be the Lions, man. I think our that's a little bit too far. I think we didn't build the structure to where it's not going to be the Lions anymore. We got sustainability. I don't think we're going to be the Lions. Like the Lions is a trash.
What I'm saying with Baker as being a franchise quarterback.
That hurt my feelings when you said like the Lions, man. Don't say that.
No. What I meant to say with the Lions is that you constantly were waiting for them to do something, right? They were constantly getting these number one receivers, Megatron and the other dude that came after Megatron. They was constantly getting like number one draft picks, great running backs, and they were constantly getting like these media kind of the Detroit Lions about to be good this year. And I feel like that's us right now. Every year it's like, the Browns about to be good this year.
No. And then, we are good.
We finish, 6 and whatever or 8 and whatever.
The difference is we are good. And this is the thing. The problem with the Detroit Lions is not that Matt Stafford was considered a franchise quarterback.
Right.
But as you see with the Detroit Lions, if you don't build the rest of your team up, a franchise quarterback just means you paying somebody to be there.
Yeah. And they never had a running game his whole time he was there.
What we don't look at with Brady when he was in New England, look what New England did this year. 1 year after Brady, all they needed was a stable quarterback.
And their defense.
They have a built identity. They know who they are. They know what they're looking for. That's what I'm saying. Right now, the Browns, we have to build up our entire team. It's a 53-man roster. If you don't got at least 45 players that another team will try and jump on as soon as you cut their ass, you don't have a chance. Because when injuries happen, when things happen, and that depth start to wear, when you look at all the teams right now in the playoffs, they got depth. They've been building. Cincinnati been in the playoffs the last 15 years, right? When the last time Green Bay been in the playoffs? Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is great in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. How many years was there in the playoffs before Kansas City got there? Before Patrick Mahomes got there?
They were decent before Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know what? You got to build your team, get you to the playoffs. Your quarterbacks and receivers and star players get you those extra wins because now you're playing against the elite. But until your team alone can get you into the playoffs.
So let me ask you something. I don't know if you were on the line when Sleep went over the teams that we got to play next year. Did you hear who we got to play next year?
I watched the schedule. I seen the schedule. We'll go ahead and refresh it if you want me to.
Yeah, Sleep. Do the schedule for him one more time, and I want you to tell me which one of these teams you feel like is going to see Baker Mayfield on the schedule and be like, oh man, we got to play him.
But you know what?
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
but this is the thing, though.
Tell me which team is on this list that's like, oh no, not Baker Mayfield.
But you know what? But this is the thing, though. This is the thing, though. Every team that gets on the field plays Baker Mayfield like that. You don't think that they're scared of Baker Mayfield, but they are because he set the rookie.
Okay.
And let me tell you why I say that.
Okay.
He set the rookie touchdown record, and last year he was the third highest quarterback in the league. They pay attention to that. Baker is always known to be accurate. And even since the Ohio State game, his most infamous game, where he slammed the flag down into the field, you know that there's potential there. Not only to mention, the highest scoring football college game ever was Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
So these are his peers playing against him. They played against him in college or heard about him in college. They do fear him. This year he was hurt. Our running game is so open, was so open prior to Baker Mayfield getting hurt because they was worried about him connecting with our receivers. Our receiving core is not what people try and portray it as. Our running game is strong. Our receiving core, even with Odell, was pretty weak. Because as you see right now, he was our number. If we didn't make him a number one receiver, he's a bust, or we wasting his talent.
Yeah.
He a number 3 option right now. There's no what team is he going to as a competitor that he's the number 1 option?
I wish I would have queued up some highlights, man. But go ahead, go over these teams.
I mean, even if you go back and edit, queue up the highlights. On what team was Odell Beckham going to join as a contender where he was a number 1 receiver? He replacing Tyreek Hill?
No. Okay.
Is he replacing Devontae Adams?
Right. No, he's not.
He replacing Mike Evans or Godwin? He's on the Rams right now. He can't replace Kupp. And if Robert Woods was healthy and on the field, he ain't replacing him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, on what contending team that has a passing offense was Odell Beckham Jr. going to be looked at as the number 1 option?
Let's do the reverse of that.
They're not a playoff team. They're not contending.
Let's do the reverse of that. You put Baker on the Rams. Is the Rams just as good?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Rams have built up a strong team. Look.
Wait a minute. Hold the fuck on. You think Baker is going to compete that many passes to Kupp?
Let me reverse the question.
Let me get
an answer. You go ahead first, and then I'm gonna go next.
Let me get a chance to answer. So first of all, the coach is different. The play calling is going to be different.
Okay, all right.
With Baker being on the field. Number 2, he got a solidified, bona fide number 1 receiver who's been a number 1 receiver. Actually, was a number 2 the last 2 years on that team, but really was a number 1 receiver on that team.
Okay.
And the problem with Matthew Stafford is Matthew Stafford does great for several games, but then he flakes out like completely, and that's been his history for the last 12 years.
Believe me, I get what you're saying. I understand totally. I'm not.
But yeah,
Matthew Stafford, whatever.
Well,
but I'm just saying, if you replace any of these teams in the playoffs, quarterback with Baker Mayfield,
are
healthy?
They
still a healthy Baker Mayfield? Look, and I know you laughing.
I love y'all.
When the Rams went to the Super Bowl,
healthy or hurt?
when the Rams went to the Super Bowl, who did they go with?
Huh?
This is the most recent time the Rams went to the Super Bowl. Rams went to the Super Bowl, right? About 3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Who did they have as quarterback?
They had what's the name from the Lions?
Yeah,
How good
Goff.
did the Lions do this year?
Jared Goff.
Did they win 8 games?
No, they just won 2. They just won their second one.
Right.
So what I'm saying is the Rams, they were behind. They were Todd Gurley, Jared Goff, but they built up a solid defense. They built up a solid offense. I'm talking about offensive line,
and they got veterans.
competent receivers.
Yeah, when you can say the Arnold or whatever is really an elite.
This is the thing. In order to compete in the NFL, your entire franchise has to be strong.
Okay.
From front office to the 53-man roster.
Okay.
So that is why it was so easy for them to replace Jared Goff, who was looked at as one of the better, and also a number 1 pick.
Yeah, Goff is good, dude. I think,
but he's not on the Rams. You know what? He's not on the Detroit Lions because the team is not good.
Right.
Baker Mayfield is taking a rebuilding team, a rebuilding franchise, and we are still in playoff contention. Jared Goff just had a chance. He cannot do that.
I don't know, man. We have multiple.
Are you telling me that Jared Goff is better than Baker Mayfield?
Wait a minute. You're telling me though that the Browns are still rebuilding with that roster that we came into the year with?
No, not rebuilding right now. As long as they don't try and start over.
Okay, yeah, thank you. They had Pro Bowl linemen. The defense was shored up. Every position we had starters, and no position was really like, we need a better linebacker.
But it wasn't like that last year. So they had to go get people from the draft and build that for last year.
Right.
Then with the offense, we got. So they went and got a tight end that they thought should have been the person that shored up.
Yeah, Cooper or whatever.
He's not. Oh, he pisses me off sometimes because he be wide open. He just simply drops passes. So he's not imagine having somebody who catches the ball or a sure-handed tight end in that same position for a lot of them passes. A lot of them would be first downs, which would change a lot of effects on the game. Here's one thing. Let me just say this real quick, Dan, because I had a question for Rob earlier. My concern is that I don't know what we're going to do about wide receiver. We can't get an elite wide receiver to come here because of the way we play the game. And so they really need to choose wide receivers out of the draft, and they really got to hit on them. And it usually takes about a year or so for them to get well with, unless it's only like Jamar Chase came out and was like an amazing type of dude.
Over the last 4 years, receivers are coming out ready.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Godwin. Receivers are coming out ready.
We got to hit on it because we can't get nobody in the league that's going to come here. No purpose. Who would want to come here when we run the ball?
This is the thing, though. If you are really valued in the league, we can't get you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want a stacked team where it's just like you the third, fourth, fifth option.
Well, your
position
for Michael Thomas.
Players do not hit free agency.
Like Michael Thomas is going to be available from New Orleans,
but he's not. No, we don't take. We could take a chance on Michael Thomas.
Complete passes over 30 yards. So
best way to get a receiver, truthfully, right now in this league is the draft. Star receivers, star quarterbacks, star players. Period. Only switch teams when they want to. Because the organization is not letting you go.
That's
you know what I'm saying? If you are great or an elite player, nobody's letting you go to free agency. Free agency, when you really look at it, is full of undeveloped players who just want to leave where they at, or players who are trying to bounce back.
Okay.
But like Justin Jefferson next year is not going to be available in free agency. And even if he was, Julio Jones. No, forget Justin Jefferson. Julio Jones. When Julio Jones came in, he was the number 1 drafted receiver, right?
Yeah. I'm not touching Julio right now.
Later on in his career, first off, he didn't score a lot of touchdowns. If you play fantasy football and you ever had him on your team, you know that. He gets a lot of yards, but he don't score a lot of touchdowns. For the same reason Baker don't. Atlanta has such a decent running game that once we get into the 10 to 15-yard line, I'm going to run it in.
Because they had 2 good running backs at that time.
But when Julio Jones hit the trade market, You know what that let you know? It's over.
Mm.
Because prior to that, Atlanta would not let him into trade. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving him up.
So what you're telling me right now, you're ready with this roster plus or minus a receiver to go into next year, and the Browns are contenders for Super Bowl.
No, not Super Bowl, playoff. Because the thing is, you have to build consistent playoff berths.
Yeah, and I don't think we have a choice.
Yeah,
we don't have much of a choice. So,
and I wouldn't go one receiver this draft. If myself, I would grab 2 to 3 receivers, maybe and a quarterback, and I would also be checking for the free agency for quarterbacks who can fit. Like we can get somebody like a Deshaun Watson and he can play. I mean, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Best player available.
I'd take Kirk. I'd take Kirk Cousins.
No.
I would.
I wouldn't take Kirk.
Why not?
That's Baker. We got him.
That's not Baker. No, Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback.
Kirk Cousins is an average quarterback.
Kirk
on
Cousins
a good team.
Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Baker.
Look. No, he's not.
That's
the same thing the Browns thought when we brought in Trent Dilfer.
No.
Not.
Compare any season to Baker's season. Any of them.
Kirk Cousins never set a rookie franchise record.
Kirk Cousins, because he had RG3 on his team.
It don't matter.
You're talking about a rookie.
If he was that good, he would have been on the field, though.
He beat out the dude that was the first pick in the draft.
He?
Yes.
Did he?
Yeah.
Or did RG3 wreck his career because he wanted to keep running and playing on injury? And then they're like, okay, well, let's put Kirk in.
Kirk Cousins. Check Kirk Cousins' stats, man.
Look, stats is
he's
one
a gamer
thing,
too, man.
but if you're on a good team, and this is what I'm trying to tell y'all, if you're on a good team, your stats are going to look better.
Are they a good team?
Who? Minnesota?
Yeah, their coach and the GM just got fired. Are they a good team?
You know what? Their coach and their GM just got fired because Minnesota is used to being in the playoffs and used to being a contending team. Now, this coach and this GM, who've been with them for a minute, got them to 2 championships, but they want more. So they're trying to go bigger. And then you seen some, I wouldn't be surprised they went after like Brian Flores or something because they seen some available coaches who they think will fit better.
Well, to that point.
There is no point in indictment on the GM or the coach because they've built up a roster. You have to build a roster first. You got to remember, when we come back and we look at the Browns have not had a decent roster since damn near Boney Kosar, Vinny Testaverde.
Well, I can tell you that with the Vikings made the playoffs every year that Stefanski was there. And when he left, they didn't. So Kirk Cousins came over here.
No.
You know, the way I do geometry.
No. If Kirk Cousins was that good, Stefanski would have never left. Because anybody in the NFL know if you're that good at your position, and it comes to the Browns, but if you're that good at your position as a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and you got a great quarterback that you're not gonna see again, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and ride this wave, and then when I leave him and actually become a head coach, I'm gonna get so much more money.
He did.
He didn't.
He left at a good time and then got a really good contract with us.
Yeah, because we're the Browns and we were looking for an offensive mind. That's what I'm saying. Our whole organization is young. Stefanski didn't leave and go to San Fran.
So I guess what you're saying is the Browns are fine, right? I mean, in your opinion,
they're on an upward swing.
They're in an upward swing. Baker's good for another 2 to 3 years. Franchise for the next 2 or 3 years.
But you know, 2 to 3 years can tell you a lot because
of course.
Also,
said another year could tell you a lot. I don't think
as long as we are not switching regimes and making a bunch of major hiccups. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got to go 5 years with a coach.
So my final thought is the jury is out. I love Baker. Baker made me really mad till I wanted to get rid of him at the end of the season, but I took some time to think about it. And Baker's really a good quarterback, got a bad rap based on this particular season, and he got an injury.
So he's a good quarterback or an average quarterback? I want to make sure.
I think good and average is the same. It's the same.
Okay,
good equals average. But let me just say this. we got 1 year. We got his last final year. I really do believe. I want to give him this final year. In other words, the jury is out for me. But I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want him to get healthy, be ready to go for the season, and give me 100%. But he doesn't have any more. He don't have any more leeway. This is a make or break year for Baker for me.
Okay,
I'm giving him a pass.
Feel you on that.
I'm giving him a pass.
2 or 3 years that Dame was talking about. I don't know, but yeah, definitely.
I want to get behind him. I want Baker to be the dude.
Yeah, dude, we all do. I feel like we all do. I like Baker too.
I think I'm scared that that last game against Pittsburgh and a couple games this year, what defensive coordinators do is they look at film and then they create plays based off of film. And the biggest thing that's happened to Baker this year is defensive linemen putting their hands up and knocking the balls down.
Well,
so
now, that's because he injured.
Right.
Because he's always. That's the thing.
That shit was actually happening before he was injured.
But not at this rate, not at this consistency, because he had to adjust his throwing motion. Now he's short.
His mechanics is messed up. So
he is short. There's no doubt about that. Like when you look now, when Baker was drafted, I would not have drafted him first, simply because in our division, you need a big quarterback. Unless he's gonna be lights out.
Yeah.
You need a big quarterback in our division. That's just how it works. Not in every division, but in ours particularly, because we play winter games and our division is defensively heavy. Our division does not have weak defenses. You know what I'm saying? Did Rob just leave us?
I don't know. I think he just said, fuck y'all.
Dang.
He logged out.
He don't like short jokes, huh?
Look, his time ran up. He's like, oh, I'm off the clock. 10:32. No,
that's because he's short like a leprechaun. Short, I'm out, nigga. I ain't talking about this shit.
Right.
No, but we'll hold it down till he come back.
My bad.
There you go.
There you go.
I hit the wrong button.
I like Rob thought he was at work. He was logging off.
Hey, he had to go make some cookies. But with Baker, this is my thing, man. And to me, the Browns organization, the quarterback is a big part of it. But that's once you get your team strong. And we as an organization have to develop and strengthen our team. Because truthfully, if our team was strong, our defense didn't give up so many points when it counted, if our receivers didn't drop so many passes, we would have had a winning season with Baker. The truth is, our receivers dropped too many passes, especially in crucial moments. Our offense was calling rookie or kind of safe calls towards the end of games we should have won. And our defense, they're great. They're exciting.
Not at the beginning of the season.
But when it's time to lock a team, they don't lock anybody down. Our defense is very exciting and young, and they do a lot of special plays. But I have yet to see a game where they just dominate and lock a motherfucker down.
It's hard to do that when your offense is going 3 and outs in the fourth quarter, though, man.
No, it's not. I've watched teams do it. I watched the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
do it. They did that.
The Baltimore Ravens do it. I've watched defense. I've watched the New York Giants do it. I watched the New England Patriots do it. I've watched defenses. I watched Philadelphia do it. You think Nick Foles won that Super Bowl because Nick Foles just had a lucky run and he's such a great quarterback? No, that defense was outstanding that year.
Hey, we did a great job against Green Bay. We did lock them down.
Yeah,
that was with the probably MVP quarterback and the league probably one of the best wide receivers with Devontae Adams.
I'm telling you,
but did we do what Tampa Bay do to Green Bay? Tampa Bay. Well, Tom Brady, when I said Tampa Bay before, I was talking about when they had him before, when they had Warren Sapp. But even the Tampa Bay defense of recent, did you see what they did to Kansas City in the final in the Super Bowl? Did you see what they did to Green Bay in the championship going up to it? When defenses show up in big games, that changes a lot. Your quarterback job for real in the league, now it's become, more of a media fest, and you want to have a face of the team and who better than the quarterback.
Right.
But prior to it being a media fest, your best player on the team was probably your running back and a defensive player who made your defense go strong.
But I think you discredit him a little bit because I was watching games where teams were having like 10, 12, 13 play drives and the Browns was holding them to a field goal, right? And then they get a ball back to the Browns. The Browns go 3 and out, and now that defense is right back on the field for another 7, 8, 9, 10 plays. I mean, you can't keep doing your defense like that game after game and expect them to hold a lead in the fourth quarter.
So
I mean, it's a combination of the two. Yeah, I want a defense that can shut people down too, but our defense was doing good a lot of those games.
Yeah.
When our offense was just giving the ball right back to
was
the
our
other team to
offense-
hammer on our defense some more.
was
No
our
defense,
offense-
I don't give a damn how good they is, can play 13, 14 minutes of a 15-minute quarter or however that many minutes it is and expect to be, you know,
Elite. Yeah.
exactly. So
but I've watched teams do it.
yeah, now can teams do it? Absolutely. But the Browns were asked to do it like game after game. Now, a lot of those games,
But a lot of great teams are asked to do it game after game because you know what?
Yeah.
Defense travel in every sport. If you got a great pitcher, you got a great pitcher. In basketball, if you're a great defensive team, the one thing that's going to happen when you get in there, regardless of who's scoring or whatever, your defense is going to slow them down or stop them.
Yeah.
Like the Cavs.
Yeah.
All right. So
defense win championships.
So in honor of the great John Madden, I'm gonna pull my Madden out and we're gonna play John Madden. I'm gonna give Dame the Browns.
Hey,
we pulling your Madden out.
What year?
I'm gonna give you the Browns since you think they had lead, and I'm gonna take. I'll let you pick my team.
I don't think the Browns are elite. I think we're working forward towards that. But I think what this year was a very sombering moment for fans and the players that what you did last year don't mean shit to this year.
Yeah, exactly.
And just because, you know, last year went good, you still got to put in the same work. And that's what Myles Garrett was saying. That's what Baker Mayfield was even saying. That's what a lot of players we have to build up a culture where we're expected to at least make the playoffs first before we start thinking about the Super Bowl. Cincinnati. No, go ahead.
I'm about to say let's do this before we wrap because we're almost an hour and a half in. We're over an hour and a half in. I want to do predictions, one good and one bad for next year. So let's see how these work out. I actually wanted to watch our first show to see how our predictions went this year as far as like our wins, but I think we all kind of know how that went.
Yeah. Because we didn't fear none of those teams. A lot of those teams we ain't fear.
Yeah, exactly.
But football is football. Injuries happen and things happen, man. It's crazy.
Any given Sunday. So I'll let you start because I think you kind of thought about this.
I want to see what direction you're going because I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Okay, so I'll start then just to kind of let you know where I'm at. I think going into next year, the biggest positive for the Browns is, of course, that running back coming back, the running backfield coming back all healthy. I mean, we got 2.5, 3, really 4 good running backs, honestly. Because that other kid, the fourth kid, I can't think of his name, Delton something. Felton.
Yeah.
Dude, he ain't no joke either. You know, I know he is on kick return duty, but I'm really
looking for pace back. He'll change the pace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm looking forward to us dominating.
That about Metcalf. Go ahead.
Right. I don't care who the receiver is. If your running game is good, your receivers should be able to get open on, play actions and, slots and stuff like that. The running game and the passing game kind of feed each other, right? And if we got the best running tandem in the NFL, there's no way we don't have a passing offense that's at least decent. So I'm looking for our running game to just really return to the number one running game next year. So that's my positive. My negative is what we've been talking about the whole show, what Baker's going to do. I feel like Baker's true colors are going to go out, where he's going to be inconsistent. He's going to have games where he throws for 310, 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's going to have games where he throws for 110 yards and 2 interceptions. And that's not a franchise quarterback to me. That's a guy that can get himself up certain weeks and is just not consistent enough. And I think that's what we're going to see from Baker next year is inconsistency. Some games he's going to be rah-rah. Some games he's going to be average. So that's kind of like my plus and negative for next year. I think that we're going to see. So what do you think, Sleep?
So what we're saying is positive and negative predictions.
That's
what we're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
My positive prediction is that our season is going to hang on the draft. And I believe that through the draft, I think they do a good job of choosing players. I think they've been hitting it out the park. So my hopeful prediction is they'll choose two wide receivers and also 2 offensive linemen and possibly find a sneaky linebacker in this draft. The lineman is because we're going to need depth because the guys that we have on the offensive line, which are great right now, Bitonio, our center, and the other guy that's going to the Pro Bowl will be here. But our right guard keeps going in and out, and I don't know what kind of injury that is. So I'm hoping, even if he comes back, we get some depth because whenever one of those guys go out, we be in trouble. So that's my positive hope. Negative is I believe we'll make the playoff next year, but I believe we're going to squeak in. And the reason I say I think we're going to squeak in is because the schedule that we have is tougher than we had this year. It's a tough schedule. I mean, the schedule was our home games is the LA Chargers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, New England Patriots, the Jets. So far, I only got to the Jets where I'm like, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm confused how we paying the Chargers and the Patriots 2 years in a row.
It's because we play in the AFC.
It's because we're an interesting team, and those are good games to watch now.
We play in the AFC East and the I forgot the NFC
NFC West.
Yeah, and there's also 2 additional rotating games.
And also it's good revenue.
And the reason is
when we played the Chargers, the game was 82 points. That's good football.
And we came out in 3rd place in the AFC North.
Yeah.
And with us being 3rd place, we're playing 3rd place teams.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
And then we got the Ravens, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. So that's the home games. The away games is Houston Texans. That should be cool. Washington football team. They play tough, but I think we can beat them. The Falcons, Carolina Panthers, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, Ravens, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. So I think with the schedule we got next year, if we're looking to, Baker's probably not going to come back until probably the OTAs, maybe training camp. And I really hope he plays during training camp. So even if it's just a quarter, because that coming in, not playing, and then all of a sudden just going out there cold week 1, who does that? Tom Brady play during preseason game. Aaron Rodgers played during preseason game. So who are you to not play during a preseason game when you need to get?
It's coaching decisions.
You need every game that's possible to gain.
A lot of people say that's why him and Odell came out cold because there wasn't no rapport built in the preseason.
You got to build that. So I'm hoping that I think what my negative is I think we'll make the playoffs, but I think we'll squeak in. And I think the games are going to be. This year was the best opportunity we had to get as high as possible in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and we blew it.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
All right, I think our positives going into the year is I think Baker is going to come back because what I've noticed about Baker is he's kind of a bounce back guy. He have a bad game, next game he have a good game. You got a bad year, next year have a good year, because he lives with a chip on his shoulder.
I hope he turns his Twitter off too.
Well, I mean that's the new age, man. But I think as kind of like what Sleep was saying, our draft is going to be very positive because we're filling up spots now. We not rebuilding an entire franchise like we've always had to do. We're filling in spots now to make us better, which is a good position to be when you've been at the bottom of the league. You know what I'm saying? So I do think we should go heavy on receiver and middle linebacker, whether it's free agency or draft. We need a defensive field general. It's got to be middle linebacker because he basically plays the quarterback position on the defense.
Yeah. It's really weird that middle linebacker is not as important as it used to be back in the day.
But
like
it
you knew
is.
Singletary, you knew who the team's middle linebackers are. I could even tell you most of the middle linebackers nowadays.
It is though.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. But I feel like
Tampa Bay won last year. It was their middle linebacker who got the most press and got, you know what I'm saying? Because middle linebacker on defense is a quarterback.
Yeah.
So we need that, whether it's free agency or draft. We need
especially in the AFC North. You're right.
Exactly. We need a middle linebacker who can read the field and make those adjustments. I think the offense, if we get some stronger receivers, I think it's going to show a lot for what Baker is or is not. But I think with stronger receivers,
it's going to open up the run game and everything.
It opens up everything, and we have a stable franchise quarterback where we can build on, because that's what you want a franchise quarterback for. Every franchise quarterback is not winning Super Bowl, but they allow you to build and focus on other positions.
Yeah.
The negative. Oh, also on a positive, which is also leading me into my negative. I just hope that our ownership is patient. And I hope that our front office, down to coaching, learns from this year. Because one of the things that Kevin Stefanski said when they was having like opening team meetings for this year is while everybody getting pumped about Super Bowls and all of that, most teams that make it to the playoffs that ain't been in there in a while don't even make it back the next year.
That's true.
Which happened this year because it shows a level of intelligence and awareness on his side. I think we have a very smart front office.
Okay.
And so I think they'll make the adjustments. I hope they'll make the adjustments.
I like that. I like that insight. Yeah.
On the negative, if they don't make the adjustments and don't address our deficiencies on defense and offense, receiver and middle linebacker in particular, we're going to have a repeat of next year of this kind of seesaw kind of inconsistency. I don't care if Baker Mayfield have a great MVP year. Our team can still lose. Plenty of quarterbacks have great years on a losing team.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford is a prime example.
Dan Marino.
Yeah. So I think that and I think that what we have to do in Cleveland, we don't need to put so much emphasis on the quarterback. Not at this stage. Now, when we losing to teams in the AFC Championship because our quarterback is fucking up and not making the right passes or whatever, then you start looking for a quarterback. But your team needs to be strong first in the NFL to make any for real, unless your quarterback is giving games away, which I have not seen Baker do. Unless your quarterback is just incapable of leading the team and giving games away. I haven't seen that out of Baker. You know what I'm saying? I haven't. I've seen some quarterback. Shit. Charlie Fry. I watched him get turned around and throw the ball into the end zone.
Is our Case Keenum? Should Case Keenum come back? I don't think so.
You know what? This is my thing too. Like I said before, I would draft a quarterback and I would check free agency. I want pressure on Baker to let him know it's serious. You're in your 5th year. You only get your 6th year if we have no other options. And your 7th year, if you're not performing, you know, you probably out of here. You probably about to hit the bench.
Yeah,
and we
just
on
go
your
through
way
progressive commercials. You good?
You know, it ain't about the commercials. It ain't about it.
Dude, he's a laughing stock because of that shit, though.
But you know why? Because he's part of Cleveland.
No,
he's in Cleveland.
Right.
Anything in Cleveland loses value as far as the media is concerned. And that's all that is media. His progressive commercials has nothing to do with his play on the field. And I only say that because he's not neglecting practice. He's not neglecting film study. He's not neglecting anything for commercials.
I think the point of that is if you are doing commercials in the NFL, you should be one of the unique or
That's an
upper
old
echelon players.
That's an old school.
If you an average player, why are you doing progressive commercials?
Because you're a name. That's an old school thought. Those commercials come from, for real. Those commercials come from the marketing team trying to sell products and trying to sell services.
Because Progressive is huge in the business. Progressive got a lot of money in the NFL. Let me ask you this. Let me just say this real quick, just to tap on that. Progressive got a lot of money in the NFL on a whole bunch of stuff, bunch of money, and Progressive is here in Cleveland, and their quarterback is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
So that's they do.
Dude, I'll put Miles Garrett in a before.
They even had discount double check on Geico. No,
I just watched the old school of thought and the old way of things was only Super Bowl champion quarterbacks, because quarterbacks didn't even get
right.
Yeah, they get to, and that was even because it used to be running backs prior to them. You know what I'm saying? But then it became quarterback. NFL started becoming more offensive because they want to see higher scores. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, however, with that being said, the quarterbacks that are being chosen now are first round draft picks. What's his name in Jacksonville? I can't think of his name right now.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. He ain't a million quarterbacks. I'm not seeing him getting slammed for that. He ain't a million commercials. I'm not seeing him getting slammed for that in his rookie year. He ain't winning.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady has been getting, and Tom Brady is the GOAT.
You all know doing Subway commercials and Hurts.
It's not Hurts.
I'm like, what?
He's had very subpar games this year.
Brady?
Nah,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, the wings is kicking in. The cocaine.
He about to hit 5,000. He about to hit 5,000 yards.
Yeah, dude.
But that's because in the games that he did gradient. But Brady has had a couple subpar games. He threw 4 interceptions this year in a game.
Yeah, he had a game, that he
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Threw a bunch of interceptions, and he cussed everybody out and came back and
but you know what? And this is the thing too, though, with that, because Brady, and we got to remember. I know Brady's whole career because I called Brady from the beginning. From his first Super Bowl, I said, I'm running with him. He going to win. Mm-hmm. Even though his first 3 Super Bowls was really based off of the defense and him not fucking the game up. It wasn't because he was just...
No, you're right. He was game managing a lot. Right.
He didn't become that until later.
I agree with that. They had some great defenses back then. I remember playing with them Patriots.
Because Belichick is a defensive coach. So Belichick's offense... his philosophy rather was a defensive philosophy.
His only problem is if the defense got on a Giants jersey or Eagles jersey.
Exactly, because they made those plays, and it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right. However, he lost some shootouts. Those were shootouts that if Brady would have had 5 more minutes, he probably would have won. So,
but would he? Because
goddamn, are you serious?
You just had
the Giants should not have won that Super Bowl with
Eli Manning. He won 2 of them.
He just had 60 minutes, so now he need 5 more minutes.
He won 2 of them against the same guy.
Exactly. That's you know.
He wouldn't even shake. He wouldn't even shake. What's his name's hand from the Eagles?
That Philadelphia loss.
Certain quarterbacks and certain teams. It just is what it. Sleep will tell you in our fantasy league, right? Rob, you got to join next year. I went 12-2, man. 12-2, got all the way to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I lost to a motherfucker who was 9-5, but that's also somebody who has beaten me 4 times the last time. 4 times the last 4 times we didn't play. He's beaten me since last season. Because sometimes, for whatever reason,
it ain't your week.
It ain't your week.
That person just got your number. You know, and I done played it with everybody. But you know what I'm saying? Like I went 12-2. Nobody can touch me this year in fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Right. And when we drafted, I was ranked as the 11th team. It's 12 teams in the league. My draft was ranked as 11. I was the second to worst team.
Okay.
I went 12-2. I lost 2 games.
I was 11-3, by the way.
Yeah, you was. You was right on my heels. I was 12-2. I lost, and I lost the Super Bowl to one of the people I lost in the regular season to.
Okay.
So with Brady with the Giants, hey man, Tom Coughlin just had Bill Belichick's number and knew what he was going to do, and then luck was on his side. Because if you look back at the statistics, Tom Coughlin has always beaten Bill Belichick.
Even him in
That was-
Jacksonville.
He always gave him a problem. You know what I'm saying? That he
Mhm.
just wanted. So sometimes that's just what it is. That's the whole beauty of the game and why we love it.
So let's get a Browns fans one last message to wrap up for encouragement for next year.
Thank you guys for still sticking out.
Yeah. If you're a Browns fan, man, keep your head up. I know we had Ben Roethlisberger basically end his career with us on basically a damn Steven Spielberg. They're gonna make a movie about that shit. You know they are.
And
right?
I think
If they're making a movie about Kurt Warner, they definitely gonna make a movie about Ben Roethlisberger. And and that goddamn last game where we get him the ball so he could just come in and kneel down. Are you serious? Like, who wrote that shit?
Yo.
So Browns fans
run around the stadium like Cal Ripken.
Yeah, to me, Roethlisberger leaving Pittsburgh is the end of an era. So our era is about to start. We're about to start whooping Pittsburgh's ass for the next 10 years. So let's keep our heads up and keep a positive attitude towards that. We're about to be a beast in the league. So Browns fans, keep your heads up, man. Buy plenty of merchandise.
And my name is Damon Foster, and I do not reflect any of the views that Rob just laid out. Honestly, because right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, Pittsburgh is here to stay. I'm not a Pittsburgh fan at all, but I do respect the game, and they have built a organization and a team who is always going to be competitive, which is why we're in one of the most competitive, if not the most competitive.
You don't even know who their quarterback gonna be.
It don't matter because the rest of their team is strong.
Yeah, they didn't have a quarterback at all this year, and they're in the playoffs.
The rest of their team
had a
is strong.
jersey name only,
and that's what I'm saying. The quarterback is the icing. That's the cherry on the top of the cake. Okay. You build up the rest of the team, and then Baker Mayfield. If Baker Mayfield was on, look, Mac Jones. Mac Jones came out of college and went to the New England Patriots. He looked like one of the best college prospects that they could ever drafted. No. The New England Patriots are a 20-year dynasty team. They just needed somebody competent enough to hand the ball off or make the right throw.
Because everybody else go do their job. Because that's
everybody else doing their job. They got a whole philosophy. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, as far as the AFC go. This is the same reason.
You're not leaving the Browns fans with a positive message.
I'm about to leave the Browns fans a positive message in a second. But I'm also putting things in perspective. The Chargers. The Chargers, for instance, got Justin Herbert, one of the bright young stars as a quarterback in our league. Did they make the playoffs?
No. They could have at least tied for a nigga.
They did not. But you know why? Because the quarterback does not mean everything. You have to build up your franchise. So my positive note for Browns fans going out, I think that this regime, as long as our owner is patient, this regime knows what they are doing. Wait. Oh. Cobra Kai. But look, our regime this time knows what they are doing. They're smart. They know what they're doing. Yeah, touch it. Yeah. Y'all silly. Hey, our regime, Nato, positive Browns fan, because I'm a Browns fan. We know what we're doing this time. We're building a strong, competitive team that's not going to be competitive and strong for 1 year. They're going to be competitive and strong for multiple years.
Okay.
And the quarterback, when you build something, the quarterback is just there to help your build, because you don't have to keep searching and wasting that draft pick.
Okay. Yeah, if you don't have the elite quarterback, your job is to maintain the game and not make silly mistakes, and we can win the game. Unless you are one of the top elite people, like I said, it was only 6 of them in the league, and some people say only 3. If you're not one of them, then we just need you to not do anything that's go kill us.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask both of y'all a question before we leave out of here, because I know we're trying to wrap up. Is Ryan Tannehill an elite quarterback?
No.
He's a good quarterback, though.
No.
Where's his team? Where's his team positioned at in this playoff run?
Number 1 team in the AFC.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield can beat Ryan Tannehill. Build up the team around
Ryan
him.
Tannehill is like 6'5", so I don't know.
No.
He's a good quarterback.
And his passing is damn near similar to Baker on a bad day. On a good day, Baker give you 300 to 400 yards and a couple touchdowns. On a bad day, Baker give you 200 yards, a couple interceptions, and a touchdown. I watched Lamar Jackson throw 4 interceptions, 71 yards, throw for 71 yards. People are still trying to tell me he's the next coming of a great quarterback. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah, he's a Mike Vick clone, right?
No, he's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, what are we talking about here, man? Baker is decent. Baker is decent, and all I know about Baker is he's a bounce back guy because he needs that chip on his shoulder. He had a good year, bad year, good year, bad year, good game, bad game, good game, bad. We okay. We right there.
We gonna sell this shirt next year. Then we gonna get this picture. We're gonna put this picture. We're gonna put it on a shirt, and it's gonna say Baker is decent. Straight out your mouth, dang. Baker is decent.
You know what we need to do? Yo, you know what we need to do? I'm gonna enhance that idea you just had, Rob. We need to take that picture and put it on a bouncing ball and put it across the years he's been in the league.
All right, Sleep. Come on, lead the Browns fans with something they could be proud of this year, or positive thought.
Listen, I read a post somebody wrote, which was great, and I think Dane,
because I didn't even know you could read. So
you stupid. And it was a post talking about the great things that Baker's done, and people giving him a hard time because he had a bad season. Baker had a bad season.
He did, no doubt. I watched this season for me. I watched it.
He had a bad season.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
If you're holding out that rookie season, you got to hold out the bad season.
I want him to have it. I'm glad he had it.
Yeah.
Because in the future, if it ever comes to this situation again where he's injured, I do want him to sit his ass down because the whole point is to win the games. It's not about what Baker's doing, and I want him to get over that. So
yeah.
My
that's
thing
management
is,
fault for real.
If you hurt, take a knee, right?
That's management fault for real.
Yeah.
They make that decision.
If Baker, for Browns fans, if Baker can get his surgery, rehab, and come back as a healthy Baker, we're gonna have a lot of playoff games going forward.
Yeah. Okay.
There's nobody out there right now. A lot of people were talking about we need to get another quarterback. There's nobody out there that's going to be available that's going to be better than Baker, with the exception of Deshaun Jackson. I mean, Deshaun, what's his name? Deshaun Watson. Now, I would like to have, this would be a Christmas wish for me, because I asked the question about Case Keenum, right? I would like to get rid of Case Keenum. The reason I would like to get rid of Case Keenum is because the coach's choice was Case Keenum. That's who he brought here. And when we was going through a tough time, he could have made the decision, and he didn't feel as if Case Keenum was going to be better than the quarterback if he put Baker back out there injured. So if that's the case, we paying him too much money. We need to get somebody else out.
Quarterback controversy, yeah.
My wish would be, and y'all might think I'm crazy, but I don't care. Mitch Trubisky is going to be available.
No,
I feel
you, Sleep. I feel you.
Not as a starting quarterback. I'm not saying bring him as a starter, but he's going to be a backup on somebody's team. I take Mitch Trubisky as a backup. The reason I would is because one, he's from here in this area, so his winning for him would be great. But also, if something happens with Baker, he'll be able to go in and play. He went to the playoffs when he was with the Bears. He's not a bad quarterback, and he can play in the cold. I think he's a decent quarterback as a backup. I'm not saying come here and as a starter, but Baker does every position that we have on this team. There's competition at every position. Right. There's competition at running back,
Mitch is scrappy,
wide receiver, linebacker, with the exception of
there's only competition if you're average talent. A lot of our positions are held by average talent.
Not the starters.
Yes.
No, not the starters. And with the
After
exception of,
Landry on
no, I'm not talking about wide
receiving.
receivers. Our receivers aren't good.
That's your moment. Hold on.
Yeah, as far
Do
as
your
wide
thing, I'm
receivers, the wide receivers aren't good. So I'm not even going to compete them. With the exception of Jarvis Landry, that's it. But we got competition at running back. We got competition at on the defensive line, with the exception of the king of the defense, right? We got competition at
I like Clowney. I do like Clowney too.
Right.
I hope we sign him back.
Me too. We got competition at cornerback, safety, at every position. So why not have competition at quarterback? I'm not saying make a quarterback controversy. That's not what I'm saying. But if you don't believe in Case Keenum enough, which Case Keenum could have won in some of those games, but
he could have.
I'm not gonna get into that. If you don't believe in him enough to do that, you're paying him $17 million for what he's doing. Too
much money.
Mitch Trubisky will be available. He's going to be a backup. He's not going to be on the Buffalo Bills. I would take him as a backup. I'm saying we need a backup quarterback. I think he would be the next best backup quarterback out there. That's all I'm saying. So that's my wish. My Christmas wish for the Browns is keep Baker. Baker get healthy. Let's go get Mitch Trubisky, man. Bring that. He's from here. Your homeboy from Cleveland.
Yeah, mentor.
Bring him on the team.
No.
So that's my moment.
All right.
I mean, you know what? I'm not going to even. Good take. But I'm not going.
You said good take.
Good take. I'm not going. Mr. Trubisky. I mean, I just have to, because the thing is that we don't need. If Baker is a problem amongst major consensus, we don't need Baker backing up Baker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
Mitch
is not Baker, man.
It's not the same.
Yeah, Mitch is not Baker.
Yeah, Mitch is taller than Baker.
Not, because he's not as good as Baker.
He stays healthy. He stays healthy. You know what I mean? I don't think he's the same.
That's
as Baker.
because
where is he right now?
I still think Baker is better than him. I'm not saying somebody to start over him.
Stay healthy because he throw a lot of passes out of bounds, and he don't have the heart of Baker. See, the thing about that people are missing with Baker is that he's respected. It's one thing to be a quarterback. It's another thing to be respected by your team.
Mm.
And Mr. Trubisky, he's not coming in here getting that respect. And another thing that Baker, even in his hurt season, what Baker did do leadership-wise, he played through that injury until he couldn't play no more, and he was hindering his team.
Is that really leadership, though?
But it is, because you know why? A lot of players who would have sat out on us throughout the year played because Baker kept playing.
Yeah.
Because everybody get hurt. Everybody get a little injury through the year. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to take on the tone, or at least your quarterback in most NFL franchises is the highest paid player. If you can't do what he doing, or if you ain't willing to do what he doing, you out of here.
Yeah, okay.
So at least with Baker playing, and I understand with Baker playing injured, he was supposed to always say, I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
It was up to the upper management and the coaches to say, you know what? We've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be no good to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they make that decision. And they sit him down because a player is always going to play. He's a player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what Baker did do, just like Jarvis Landry, when he was when we first came here and at Hard Knock, everybody hurt. You know what I'm saying? The whole little rant. But it was true because you play in NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
just like us complaining about the police who talk about my life was in danger. Nigga, your job is to have your life in danger. You can't use that as an excuse to shoot every black person you see.
That was
every black or Latino person you see, you shoot.
You know what I'm saying? The show.
Meanwhile, with white folks, and I ain't trying to turn that into this, but with white folks, you using tasers and every other alternative motive because you believe black people and Latinos got magic or some shit. It's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It all got to come back down to, This is what it is. This is the reality, and this is what we got to deal with.
Yeah.
It's not about no other shit. It's not about no other bullshit. Not about no other media fabrications or nothing. No, Baker will let y'all know I'm strong. Even if I can't play, I'm strong enough to stand here and represent for my team.
I mean,
And I know you laughing, Rob.
how many
but
wings
that's a
did
lot.
Baker buy you to say that?
How many what?
How many wings did Baker buy you to say that?
Shit, I wish he would have. But I just know the heart of a champion.
Right.
I am a champion.
Mr.
So I know the heart of a
Trubisky,
champion. You know
Mr.
what I'm saying?
Mr. Trubisky was in the league. They both have a 64% completion rating.
That's
So
a completion rate. But
I'm not asking Mitch to stop.
And whoa. Before you give me that inflated stat, what was Chicago's defense at that time?
What they got to do with offense?
Oh, it got a lot to do with it. A lot. That's why you play offense and defense. So what was Chicago's defense at the time?
What's that got to do with his completion percentage?
But that got a lot to do with it. First of all,
How do they correlate?
we already addressed that Baker Mayfield don't have the best receiving core. He don't. It was pumped up, but he don't.
Right.
And even in game time situations, how many times did we see in crucial moments?
I'm not. No. I'm not comparing
Peoples
him
Jones,
to Baker.
we seen drop passes, right?
I'm not comparing him to Baker. I'm not comparing him to Baker. What I'm saying is a backup. If you got to have a blanket. If something happens to Baker, to have somebody be able to come in and be competent.
What I'm saying is, as a backup, because it's obvious right now, our regime is not focused on the backup. Because if that's the case, we would have been playing Case Keenum after game 3.
We should have
at least.
No, not from 3, but we should
5
have played
at least.
We should have played them the first Lions game, and for at least 3 games, and then we'd have been fine. Because
our organization is not used to what we're going through. Like this is the thing. Just keeping it in our own division. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati do not buckle or get nervous when things get rocky. Cincinnati, being the worst of those throughout the years, still has developed a culture where, you know what? Let's stay steady and do our diligence, and we are going to at least give ourselves a best shot at success, right? We the only knee-jerk reaction in our division. We got to stop that. We cannot continue to be a knee-jerk reaction team in our division and expect to win.
That's the problem. There should be more of a knee-jerk, but I don't mean a knee-jerk.
No.
Right now they're staying the same. They don't make any changes. Like when Baker went down, like you said, they should have made the decision to, okay, listen, you're too injured based on that last game. I'm going to put another quarterback in. Or if we're running certain plays and they're not working, for the second half, change the plays up, do something different. Or if the defense is running certain plays and they're not working on the second half, let's come back and make some changes. They don't do that. So I'm not saying a knee-jerk reaction, but it should be some kind of reaction, and they haven't been doing that.
I will say this as a positive to Browns fans and even to y'all. Who was the AFC champion last year? I mean, AFC North champion last year.
The Ravens.
No, it was the Steelers.
The Steelers, that's what I mean.
Who do we beat in the playoffs?
Steelers.
Okay. Who is the AFC North champions this year?
The Chargers. I mean, the Bengals.
Who do we beat 2 times this year?
We lost to the Steelers twice.
No.
Oh, that's
Who
not what
did
you're
we
asking.
beat? Answer my question.
We beat the
Okay.
Bengals. Yes.
We beat the Bengals. So we're on an upward position.
Yeah.
We're beating our division champs, and that's the first thing. Conquer your division. And we split with Baltimore. Now, I do want to say, I want to touch back on that whole Pittsburgh thing.
The whole Pittsburgh thing, what thing?
As far as the game and how it seemed like a ceremonial send-off and all that.
Yeah.
I think that was a ceremonial send-off, man, because we had a lot of calls go against our way that game.
Oh, man, we did. Sure
did. Where it deflated the team. Like, we ain't going to win unless we just win. You know what I'm saying? Which is what we need to build up to. I don't give a fuck what's going on. We need players. I don't give a fuck who retiring or what's going on. I'm about to beat your ass. We need young folk.
Exactly.
Like in Cleveland, for real.
You may be retiring, but you playing football today.
Like in Cleveland, for real.
It was funny because they showed the one Cleveland Brown fan that was there. And he was sitting in the middle of all these Steelers, and he just looked so bad, man. It was crazy.
Hey, look, man.
So
I'm gonna just tell you, like in Cleveland, me and Sleep and Dub are considered, at least rap relevancy. You know what I'm saying? We made some songs. It didn't go national or nothing like that, or some did kind of go national. We had our own little things going on, but we still were respected when we step in the circle in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I heard y'all was gonna do a versus with Crucial Conflict.
Well, no, I actually want to do a versus with you. We're gonna put your best jokes against our best songs, and then we're gonna do a little. No. But
I'll just play with you, man.
I would love to do, but like for real, but that doesn't hold water to us going against like Bone. You know what I'm saying? It's a different league. They had different success. It was a different time. It don't mean that we less talented or we didn't work as hard. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, in life, it works like that sometimes. So, even we're about to do a new song. We're about to do another song, drop it out, and our song is alive. However, because of the times, because of what it brought to, we don't get that same exposure.
Yeah.
But it don't mean we ain't valuable. It don't mean if you don't hear a song, you ain't be like, oh, that's a live song. Who made that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the same thing with quarterbacks in the NFL.
I love how you just relate stuff to quarterbacks.
Hey, because it's real.
You be like, hey.
Because like Justin Herbert,
that's just like quarterbacks in the NFL. Sometimes
Justin Herbert did. Look. Statistically, and as far as the franchise go, Justin Herbert has done no better than Baker Mayfield. They both out the playoffs.
Right.
They both 8-9.
Except he broke
Justin Herbert is in LA and he's a new young shit. Oh, he got so much promise. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit. He is what he is, man. I had him on my team. He led my team. He lost for me in a fucking fantasy. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of personal shit going on. But still.
Well, listen, Browns fans, we appreciate anybody that listened. I know we were real inconsistent with the shows, man, but we're going to try to be consistent if we bring it back next year. Let us know if Fridays was a good night. If you guys want to send us a little comment, let us know if y'all want us to move it tonight. Let us know if y'all wanted to do it a couple of nights. Maybe we could do a quick after the game wrap up or something after games or something.
Did Sleep just go to sleep on fucking?
No.
He looking at.
I was looking at Mitch Trubisky stats.
Well, next time, hold it up. You look sleep.
Yo.
Listen, man, I enjoyed this, man.
I hope we can bring it back
next year.
It was worth it.
Hey, man.
I hope we can.
You know what? Hold on, Rob. I gotta interject. Okay.
What did he say?
Interject.
Okay.
You know what I said?
I did.
For Mr.
You know what? My car got a half a tank of gas. I can make it to your house. And we can discuss all our differences. All right? You know what I'm saying? On a Friday night, goddammit. You had no good about Monday. You be good. Hey, but no, what I'm saying is we don't need to stop. What we need to do is move it on to the Cavs season.
Cavs season?
Cavs.
Rob, I told you a while ago that the Cavs was doing really good, and I know you're like, I don't.
They're number 6 right now.
Dude,
in Eastern Conference, the rebuild seems to be working.
I really wish you would just catch a Cavs game.
I think we need to move. You know, we are. I have trouble a little bit watching it.
I know your eyes get big. Like, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. They are a really good team, bro.
They 6. They're the 6 seed right now.
They are
And
really good.
they only 6 seed because they had a couple trades go through.
Dude, they got the 3rd best defense in the league.
That was 4th. That was 4th seed. I think the Cavs is something to watch.
I love it.
All right.
I know you don't believe us. That's okay.
So for all
I'm just saying the way the NFL,
you just heard Rob said he love it.
The way the league is built right now, man, the elite teams are too strong, man.
Yeah, you heard it here live and direct first. Rob already said we're gonna do on the Cavs season. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody coming out the East, man. Ain't nobody coming out the East but Milwaukee or the
Cavs.
Nets, man.
Who told you that?
You ain't seen the game, man. I'm talking about they look good. I ain't talking about like, hey, they hanging with the big guys. No, these dudes look good. They whoop Utah's ass by like
dominating.
30. They whoop Utah's ass by like 30.
I saw them almost beat Golden State. I saw them almost beat
well, that's Western. And you know what? Even with that, man, like ain't nobody came close to beating.
Okay.
Like,
Golden
State only got like 10 losses on their league. Golden State got like 10 losses on a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't saying that we don't know what's game close, but to give them a game with what we have right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, hey, look, I want the Cavs to be good. It's just that the East is so stacked until I feel like the end of the story is already written. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you think we're going to win 7 games with the Bucks or, the Nets? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the competitiveness.
Well, the Nets is a little different story.
Huh?
The Nets might be the best team on the East. However, Kyrie only play when you in fucking out of town.
Kyrie don't scare nobody, man.
Is you fucking shitting me?
This a conversation for another day. It's a conversation for another day. But Kyrie by himself, if you look at the first 4 years of the Cavs, if you look at his years with the Celtics, Kyrie don't scare nobody, man. By himself.
We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna talk about that later.
Kyrie's I agree that Kyrie's not all that great without. He got to have another superstar. He got to
have another superstar.
He can't be number 1. He can't be number one.
He's not number 1. He's number 2 at best.
So, right.
But can we do this on a way out? Can you bring up the playoffs for the AFC NFC game we just call games real quick?
Yeah. Hold on. I actually had queued up the Pro Bowl selections because I thought we might talk about that for a second.
Well, I mean, we can.
No.
But people want to watch.
I'd rather talk about the playoffs because
people love us, Rob.
Yeah, some of those
people love us. That's why your name Rob, because you rob the people of what they want to see, man.
Hold on a second.
People ain't satisfied with just 16 minutes of me, man. They want more.
All right, let me see if I can remember how to share this shit. Hold on. We are going to.
Can we do some predictions on the playoffs? And then Sleep, he all right. But he's more of a front man. I'm the meat. You know what I'm saying? I keep it going. Like, Sleep.
Huh.
Can you guys see that? Is it too small?
Well, I mean, it's to make a baby.
Yeah, on my laptop monitor, it's about the size of an embryo, but I don't know what the fuck that is either. So there you go.
That looks good.
All right.
So KC Pittsburgh, we got KC winning this.
I think.
You know what?
In my opinion, I think Pittsburgh is going to squeak it out. Juju's coming back, and I think team versus KC should win the game, but I believe Pittsburgh might mess around and squeak one out of there, man.
You know what? I agree with you, Sleep, and only because I think as a Browns fan, we've been bullied by Pittsburgh so much that we don't see them losing to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, KC gonna mop them up, man.
I didn't make my prediction, Rob.
Okay, go ahead.
However, I am going with KC to win by like 3 points because I don't think Pittsburgh going to let them get an inch, and I think Ben Roethlisberger coming for blood. But I just think KC got too much firepower.
Shit, he thought he was retired last week. All right, I got KC double digits.
Tyreek Hill ain't gonna be playing.
Single digits. He not playing?
Tyreek Hill ain't gonna be playing, and they lost the offensive lineman.
Whoa. This is new information.
Tyreek ain't played in 2 weeks.
Why is he not playing? Because of COVID?
He got an injury.
Remember,
he was on the field last week, but they only played like 4 plays, and then was on the sideline the rest of the game.
Oh, you know what? That changed things. I'm glad I got the last bit of information.
Okay. Buffalo, New England. Who you like?
I'm gonna say I'm changing. I'm going Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Upset
KC by
KC.
double digits. I'm not changing. Buffalo, New England. Who you got?
I got Buffalo.
Okay. Buffalo. East.
Buffalo. I'm gonna go New England. I feel like Belichick done kind of pulled them boys together. Cincinnati and Las Vegas.
I'm
going with the Raiders, man.
I want to say Cincinnati, but I got a feeling that the Raiders, they playing for something else. They playing for themselves. They playing for the team with everything that they've been going through. Where's that game at? That's gonna make a difference. It's in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. It's host.
It's gonna be in the cold.
I'm going with the Raiders.
It's gonna be cold this weekend. I'm going with Cincinnati.
I'm going with the Raiders, man.
Damn,
I'm going with the Raiders simply because they bullied Cincinnati offensive line the first time they played, and I don't think that's gonna change. Plus, the Raiders beat us, and we beat Cincinnati twice.
My only thing about that is Cincinnati. They playing in the cold. And Las Vegas ain't got no running game right now, and Cincinnati got the third best running.
But if you have if you have an aggressive defense, you can beat Cincinnati.
That's
the teams
true.
They beat.
All you got to do is hit him a couple times. You're right about that.
The teams they beat don't have aggressive defense.
That's right, and we don't even know if Burrow gonna be 100% either. So you're right. I still go Cincinnati.
Yeah, the Raiders. Who we looking at next?
NFC.
Hold on, see if I can move this over. I kind of screwed this up.
Screwed the pooch.
Damn it, Rob.
Move this over. Can't figure out how to move this over. Okay. All right, so we got Tampa Bay, Philly. Come on. Tampa Bay all day long, right?
I don't know. You know who the quarterback?
Oh my God.
Do you know who the quarterback will be for Philly?
Tampa Bay, no question.
Nick Foles.
For who?
For Philly.
Yeah, that doesn't scare me at all. I think
it scared Tom Brady.
Okay. All right. Dallas, San Fran.
And here's another thing of the reason for my my thought. Tampa Bay will not have their number one wide receiver, which is
Godwin.
They won't have Godwin. They also won't have what's his name from that just left the ball off the field, Antonio Brown. They're not sure if they first running back. I mean, Rondell is going to be okay.
Fournette is gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Fournette going to be playing. So it's going to make a difference. He don't have all his weapons. So, and I don't quite know. And their defense ain't been the same as it's been in the past couple. I mean,
I'm never betting against Tom Brady in the first round.
I agree. I'm still going with Tom Brady.
Yeah. You know what? Dallas and San Francisco. I think I like actually San Francisco.
I didn't get to say nothing.
Oh,
okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
In this game, I make it a personal to never vote against Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
However, I think it's too much. I think it's too much this time. I'm going against Tom Brady.
Okay. TB.
And if you make it past this, I think you're going to win the Super Bowl. But this is going to be his biggest challenge as of yet because he don't have the weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this year is a toss-up this year. Jesus Christ, man. I don't see any team on here that I'm like, oh, they definitely going, you know?
Right.
Yeah, this is a toss-up this year.
Green Bay?
No, they're not.
Nah, I don't see anybody that's like, overpowering.
man.
Green Bay can be beat, man. Green Bay can be beat. All these teams could be beat.
Here's why I say no about that. Philly, Dallas, San Francisco, the Rams, Arizona. If any of them teams win, they got to go to Green Bay in the snow. They ain't. That's all of them. All of them is inside and warm teams, with the exception of Philly.
But Green Bay has lost in Green Bay.
Not to Dallas.
No.
Not to San Francisco. Not to the Rams.
I'm not. Oh, keep going, because I'm not. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. So Dallas and San Fran. I think I actually kind of like San Fran that game, but I haven't really been watching Dallas, so I don't know. Dallas could. I really don't know enough to make this call this game.
I want Dallas to win so bad. I think San Fran go get them though. Something about the way they go play the game. I think San Francisco go take them.
I'm all the way with Dallas.
All the way with Dallas? Okay.
Yeah.
Why does it feel like Dallas is almost like the unofficial black team of the NFL? Does it kind of feel that way sometimes?
Well, because all of their major stars are black.
Right.
Well, that's with any NFL team, but I feel like a lot of celebrities,
Think about all of the playoff teams.
They got a black quarterback.
Who got a black quarterback?
I don't know. It's just something about them, man. I feel like everybody, like in the black community, just roots for Dallas for some reason. But
he had to change his name to Dak so he can get drafted. They were like, "But Dallas, shit, he black."
Dallas is America's team, so when they're doing good, a lot of players come out. Because I'm a Dallas fan, like for real. When I first got introduced to football, Dallas was my favorite team because they was winning championships.
Emmitt Smith and all them.
Yeah, well, even prior to that, you know what I'm saying. But it wasn't until I went through a couple of teams when I first got introduced to football. It was San Fran to Dallas, but it wasn't until later that I adopted a locality kind of
love for football.
Yeah, like I got a team right here I can root for. I ain't got to root for Dallas or nobody else. So, you know, like Dallas is that team. And when I left out of town, a lot of people who didn't have national football teams to root for from other states, they like Dallas. You know what I'm saying? They attracted to Dallas.
My very first jersey when I was a kid was a Tony Dorsett jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was
because you know what? Dallas was the first team to win and have all that star flair and pizzazz.
Yeah. Drew Pearson and
they made it cool.
My very first jersey was a Kellen Winslow jersey that I still got.
Chargers was like my second team, right? I love the Chargers when I was a kid too.
Kellen Winslow.
My first
Chuck
jersey
Muncie was who I wanted to be as a running back because I wore glasses. And he would wear the goggles and come out and run people over. I was like, I'm Chuck Muncie. Yeah, you know you don't.
My first jersey I ever got was actually Donovan McNabb.
Really? Okay. It's a good first jersey.
Yeah, no, that's a great first jersey. Like Donovan McNabb, I was great. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't find a lot of quarterbacks, and he actually, he gets the respect he deserved, but he revolutionized the position because mobile quarterbacks were not a thing before Donovan McNabb.
Yeah. Dante Culpepper was so,
but he didn't win.
Yeah, he was. They crapped on Dante Culpepper because Dante Culpepper was supposed to win the MVP, and then they go make it a co-MVP with
the closest thing you have to a running quarterback, because Donovan McNabb was a running quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But the closest thing to him prior to that was a scrambling quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I even to this day, although I love Donovan McNabb, I like Lamar Jackson just as a player.
Mm-hmm.
No, you'll never win a championship with a quarterback like that. I'm not a running quarterback kind of guy.
Not with no longevity.
Give me a scrambler.
Definitely not with no longevity, no.
Give me a scrambler or a pocket. If I got a quarterback that can read the defense and make those plays before it even happened, excellent. But if I got a quarterback who needed a little minute to adjust and he can scramble, excellent. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this about these games this week. I feel like all these games are competitive, man.
They
The
are.
only one that I feel like is maybe and it's still competitive. The Tampa Bay and Philly game, I feel like Tampa is a better team than Philly. But man, as I look at these teams, man, all of these games are competitive, really. You know, I mean, I like KC over Pittsburgh, but you guys bring up good points there. All of these games are competitive. I don't know who's going to the Super Bowl this year. It's impossible to call.
That's the beauty of the NFL because all games. That's what I'm saying, man. It's such a small. It's such a small margin between in the NFL, particularly between being great, being good, or being, that perennial winner. You keep Baker and you build up the team.
We're not going back there again. Stop it.
No, it's not going back there. But I'm saying, look how many Super Bowls have Pittsburgh won with Ben?
One, and they've been to two,
well,
I think.
I think they won two. But I think
they won the one with Palomalu or whatever.
Okay. They won this first season.
But how many years has Ben been a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Like 15 years or no, ain't didn't he just cross this?
Yeah, it was like 16, 17 years, something like that, I thought.
How many years when Ben Roethlisberger was a quarterback?
He's still considered a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Exactly.
He still went to the playoff every year, but
but who can say? I mean, but you played during the Brady years. You played during the Peyton Manning years. You played during, you know what I'm saying? You played with some goats, man, and
this is what I'm saying. Because they're a perfect, a relevant stature for us to look at. Ben Roethlisberger, since he moved to Steelers, he ain't been great every year. But how strong is the team?
Mm-hmm.
Where all he got to do is not make mistakes, and they'll be where they need to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's been there and stabilized them. Look, they went to the Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. I mean, not Trevor Dilfer. Neil O'Donnell and Cordell Stewart as a quarterback because the rest of the team was so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Because in order to be an elite team, you have to build an elite franchise. It's not 1 year. It's not the NBA.
Yeah.
And even in the NBA, it's not 1 year. I mean, one player can change your position, but it still takes the time to build it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the Rams over the Cardinals.
Rams over the Cardinals?
That's what I say.
Yeah, I think I have to go with you there, man.
I mean, Cardinals.
Honestly, the Rams, just because they have Odell, not because of his skills, but because of the Browns' curse. Whenever we get rid of somebody, they normally go to the Super Bowl.
They do.
So,
but I'm gonna actually go with the Cardinals this time.
Yeah,
because
it's good too, man.
Go ahead.
Because the Rams make too many mistakes.
Yep.
The same way that the Cardinals may show their true colors, so may Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
And he's thrown like what, 8 or 9 interceptions in the last 2 games of the season?
Yeah.
Well, don't forget they still won't have DeAndre Hopkins, though.
Yeah.
They won't. But the thing is, they'll have a lot of opportunity. And when Honey Badger on the other side, they'll have a lot of opportunity with shit, I forgot. Stafford. Those many interceptions are causing those many turnovers. Like it.
Yeah.
This is the point where once your team can get to multiple playoff seedings and playoff games, that's when you start evaluating your top talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're gonna see. So next year, we'll bring the show back. Maybe we'll do like a Super Bowl wrap up or a playoff wrap up if you guys want, and maybe we could try to put that in the schedule. But I think we done gave the fans like more than what they deserve tonight. And
they deserve it all, they fans.
Yeah, I think this has been a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to us doing this again next year and seeing where the Browns go. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna call it a night. You guys good?
Yes, sir.
I'm good, man.
All right. And what's the show again, Sleep?
D4L.
B4L.
No, B4L. Browns for life.
Browns for life.
B4L, man. We'll see you guys soon. Be on the lookout for new posts and new videos. Talk to you guys later.
Absolutely. Yep.
D4L is a